And a very pleasant good evening, football fans, and welcome to another edition of Henley Football tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com. For the first time in a month, the Hornets are back at home. The friendly confines of Hill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School. They take their 3-2 record, their 2-0 record in league play, put it on the line tonight against the Ashland Grizzlies. My name is Josh Eldridge. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm joined by Kevin Petrick this evening. It's good to be home, Kevin. I think we can start there. It is nice to be back at Henley.
It is nice. We did a little bit of traveling, a lot of driving, but back in Klamath Falls for a few weeks. So, yeah, we have an interesting game before us tonight. Got teams with different styles. We can start talking about playoffs a little bit.
Yeah.
So a lot going on here with Ashland in town.
Henley off a win their last time out on the coast. 57-32 was the final there. For Ashland, they're losers in their last two games, 47-39 a couple of weeks ago against North Bend, and then a loss to the number one team in the state last week, Marshfield. They lost 54-12. The story for, well, both teams, I think, will be the quarterback position tonight as we take a look at Ashland. The guy to highlight is Colton Hernandez, their sophomore quarterback, fourth in the state in passing yards. He's within the top 10 in passing touchdowns as well. He'll certainly be the general on the field for Ashland tonight. And then for Henley, well, tonight the quarterback position is a little bit of a mystery, Kevin.
Yeah, we saw Joe at the end of last week's game. He got a little nicked up at the end of the game, so we honestly don't know his status tonight. We may see him, we may not. So
he is suited up at senior night.
Yes,
he walked with the team.
He did, so we'll just kind of have to wait and see. But Henley has good depth. They have good speed everywhere, so if a backup needs to play, we'll see him tonight. All
right, we'll talk about it more. We'll take a look at those standings, talk a little bit about the playoffs like we discussed earlier. That's all coming up as kickoff is just about 12 minutes away here as Henley football gets ready to get going at home tonight against the Ashland Grizzlies. You've got it on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
The best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
You know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the Basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
Josh Eldridge and Kevin Petrick back with you tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com. The Ashland Grizzlies in town this evening. They are 1-4 overall, 0-2 in league play. Let's take a quick look at the league standings as they are entering play tonight. A couple of teams lead the way. Marshfield and Henley, both 2-0. Marshfield 6-0, though, overall. They are the number 1 ranked team in the state, according to the OSAA computer rankings, which dictate playoff seedings. Henley's number 4 in that rankings, 3-2 overall. North Bend is 1-1 in league play. They're 2-4 overall on the season. Hidden Valley behind them, 1-1, 1-4 overall. Ashland Ashland winless in league play. We talked about their 1-4 overall record. They are number 25 in the OSAA rankings. And then Mazama rounding out the list. They are 0-2, 1-5 overall on the season. And Kevin, you and I were talking a little bit before we went on the air tonight. The playoff format a little bit different in the 4A class this year. In the past, 2 teams got automatic bids. This year, 3 teams from all 5 of the classifications get an automatic bid to the playoffs, plus 1 at-large team. So a little bit different, and for Ashland, that means they can climb right back into the playoff picture tonight.
Absolutely, and it's fun to cover games that mean something, and a win for Ashland tonight could really get him into that 2 or 3 spot. So if they're able to beat Henley, and of course they're winless in league, but they played some tough opponents. They've had to do with North Bend and Marshfield. So
yeah.
It's an important game for them.
Certainly so. We'll take a look around some other teams playing in the Klamath Basin tonight. Mazama is at home. They are taking on North Bend this evening. Try our best to keep you updated on that game tonight. Also, Klamath Union, they are on the road. They're playing Phoenix. That game started about an hour ago. Try to get some score updates for you from Phoenix tonight as Klamath Union is on the road. We've got a rivalry matchup in the 2A classification as Lost River plays Bonanza. That game is getting started in just a bit. Cross Point Christian is on the road tonight at Glendale. That's a game which will decide or help decide the top of the conference in Special District 1 in the 8-man classification. And then tomorrow, Chiloquin is playing Riddle. This is a 3 o'clock kickoff, and that'll be our GINO'S game of the week tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. You can catch that game on mybasin.com or listen on the radio on News Talk 92.9 and 1150 KAGO. We'll bring it back here in just a moment and talk a little bit more in depth about the Henley Hornets and the Ashland Grizzlies just a few minutes away from kickoff. We'll get you the starters and the coin toss in just a bit. This is Henley Football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Just a few minutes away from kickoff tonight at Henley High School as the Hornets back at home for the first time in a while tonight, hosting the Ashland Grizzlies. Something that Henley did real well against North Bend last week in their win 57-32. Really was able to spread out the run game and attack on the ground as a team. We had Jeremiah Burdick and Trapper Kundal each get a fair share of the touches from the running back position. And now when there's some question marks surrounding the Henley offense, I hope to see more of that tonight, Kevin. It worked well for him last week. Yeah,
the running game really improved, and of course we always talk about balance. That's what makes Henley so dangerous. You don't really know what you're going to get, but their running game looked really good last week, scored a lot of points and scored quickly, which is what we're used to seeing from this program. So they're going to hope for that tonight. I'm going to guess they're probably going to want to establish the run and then see as the passing game evolves.
It's a game where, against North Bend, they did score 32 points. A lot of that was one running back, Jackson Swanson, last week for the Bulldogs. Rushed for over 250 yards on something like 35 carries last week. So he was certainly a workhorse, but something that the Hornets are going to have to key in on is trying to stop that running game, because he was able to get 7-8 yards in some cases per play.
Yeah, you definitely don't want a team get the advantage on the ground. Tonight, Ashland coming to town, they'll throw the football 20, 25 times a game. That's quite a bit for a high school team, so be a little bit of a shift tonight defensively. You want to stop that passing game. What's the best way to stop a passing game? Pressure that quarterback, and they're going to want to do that tonight.
Pressuring the quarterback is going to be something real important, and for Ashland, they're a little banged up on the offensive line. They've got 2 new starters on the offensive line tonight, guys who don't typically play that position. Ty Paulson and Jack Ordway going to be guys that the Hornets will try to key in on. We're going to step aside for the national anthem, and when we come back, we will be ready for kickoff tonight as the Hornets take on the Grizzlies on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance. Thanks for joining us. Elevate started in 2020 as a dream. I wanted to open up a clinic of my own, really had a heart and a passion to treat athletes of all ages, and got the opportunity to do it. And wow, this is what's happened. One of the best parts of this job is that we get to work with all the student athletes on field, at their contests, at their games, all around the county. Specifically when you're working with dancers, right, we've got like particular ways of movement that we don't want to necessarily correct, because dancers have a very specific way of moving that's important for their athletic performance. At Elevate, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving, no matter if you're 8 or you're 80. Feel free to give us a call at 541-887-2030.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Well, we're getting ready for kickoff tonight in the coin toss. We've got our captains meeting down there at midfield, and for Henley, that's Jance Call Jr. along with Jeremiah Brunick and Jacob Baki, and I believe Trapper Kundal is the last guy there on the right side. Want to acknowledge our officiating crew that's also here tonight from the Klamath County Football Officials Association. Our referee, Darren Rutledge. The umpire and center judge is Colton Wright. The linesman tonight is Cooper Roberts. Rick Ladner is the line judge, and the back judge tonight is Tim Murphy. Always want to highlight our officials who always work very hard to make sure that we have these games, and as the season has moved on, we've had to move some games to Thursdays and Saturdays because of lack of officials. So if you want to be a part of the cause and become a high school official, you can start your journey today by visiting osaa.org/officials. They're always recruiting, whether it's football or basketball coming up in the winter. I know the Wrestling Association is always looking for help, volleyball, any sport you can think of. Visit osaa.org/officials to get going today. So with the coin toss down there, Henley has often chose to defer. We don't have a signal yet. The Hornets in their navy blue home uniforms tonight. Navy caps, the yellow H on the side, yellow numbers on their backs. Ashland tonight in white caps with the Grizzly logo on those white helmets. They've got white jerseys and red numbers and red pants tonight. A couple of players got pink. It is October, of course. Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so much like they do in the NFL. Players have pink socks or arm sleeves or towels and things like that, which is always cool to see. All right. So Henley won the toss. They have deferred, which has been the case this season, so they'll receive in the second half. And Ashland likely set to receive here in this first half. We'll see the Henley defense get the game started after the kickoff.
We'll key on this Henley defense. I'm interested to see how the line play, as you mentioned, Josh, is tonight for Henley. I expect them to do well. And team speed, I think, will be a factor as well. Henley matches up pretty well against teams. They're a fast team. And we'll see how they match up against Ashland.
So get things started tonight. Want to bring up our Elevate Physical Therapy Fitness and Performance Scoreboard. Elevate uses a modern and research-backed approach to physical therapy to ensure you see both a reduction in pain and enhanced mobility, getting you back to peak levels of optimal health and wellness. Elevate Physical Therapy Fitness and Performance has been treating athletes of all ages since 2020. And I see the man himself, Jason Taylor, down on the sideline earlier. Elevate is often the trainers at a lot of the Klamath County School District athletic games, so very nice to see him down there earlier today. So the Hornets will kick things off to Ashland. Ashland will go from right to left across your radio dial towards the west goal here at Hill O'Brien Field. And back to receive for them, it looks like it's going to be Kai Smith over there on the far side. And I believe on the near side, it's Cole Iwamoto for the Grizzlies. They're both stationed around the 5-yard line as Balzati gets ready to kick things off for the Hornets.
He's got a little wind at his back. A little bit of wind tonight.
Big kick to get things started. It is fielded at the 5 by Iwamoto. Brings it across the field to the 10, not quite to the 15, and that's where Ashland will start their first possession of the ball game deep in their own territory at the 11.
That was good pursuit from Sam Bennett. Gets the first tackle of the evening. And the Henley defense will take the field.
Colton Hernandez leading his team out onto the field, the sophomore quarterback for the Grizzlies. He's out there with Aiden Welch, Logan Lavorse, Oscar Hernandez, Cole Iwamoto, and David Carter. It will get you the offensive line after the first play from scrimmage tonight. There's 3 men set out wide to the right, 1 to the near side, and the running back is set off to the hip of the quarterback. That is Gavin Lavorse. To hand off to him, he is stuffed pretty much right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1 on that play, brings up 2nd and 10.
It's a good start for that defensive line. Not a lot of room in there. Only picked up a couple. Bring up a 2nd down.
Offensive line for Ashland, Ty Paulson, Jack Ordway, Avon Staton, Liam Puckett, and Keller King. The front 5 for the Grizzlies. 2 men set out to the near side. 1 man set out wide to the right. There's also a tight end lined up on the right side with Gavin Lavorse, the sophomore running back, lined up behind the quarterback. Hernandez is going to hand it off to him, but again, Lavorse is stopped right away. Gets to the point of contact and no further. 3rd and 9 underway.
Trapper Kundal among the Hornets making that tackle. Bring up a 3rd and long. Ashland choosing to run the ball the first couple times.
Guys up front for Henley include L.J. Venegas, Jackson Hart, Cooper Mathis, and Jance Call Jr. They've also got Handsome Townsend, Sam Bennett, Jeremiah Brunick, Jacob Baki, Ronan Wright, Trapper Kundal, and Connor Shively out there for the Hornets. So here we go, tight end to the left side, also a wide receiver set out wide to the left. 2 wide receivers to the right for the quarterback, Hernandez. He takes the snap, drops back to pass, has time in the pocket, looks over the middle. The pass is broken up by Ronan Wright. Nice job over the middle to bring up 4th down and 9.
Good coverage from Ronan that time. Drop back from his linebacker spot into coverage. Perfectly played. And that looks like a 3 and out for that Henley defense.
Yeah, good start to the game. Neutralizing that pass over the middle early. So Shively, that looks like it's Brunick, stationed about the 35 for Henley on the punt return. And I think that's Reyes at about the 50. He's been who's typically done it. And to punt for Ashland, that looks to be Canyon Klassen, I believe. I want to try to make out that number to be sure. The punt is up from the 15. That's a tall punt. Makes it all the way out to the 50 where it is fair caught at the 50. That was Reyes. And that might have been Martin on that kick there. A nice job, and Henley will take over 1st and 10 at midfield.
That was a nice kick. He was right up against his goal line, and he put that ball over midfield. Good punt. And we'll see the Henley offense now for the first time.
taking over at midfield with 10.5 to go in the first quarter. This will be their first drive, and we see Derek Cox come out to lead the Henley Hornets, a sophomore for Henley. Derek is 5'9", 155 pounds, playing in where Joe Janney typically would. We'll get you the rest of the offense for Henley here in just a moment. First snap for Cox is handed off to Brunick. Full steam ahead for Brunick. He carries the ball forward. A strong gain of 7 yards or so, and it'll bring up second down.
Yeah, he's picked up right where he left off last week. He's really good at squaring his shoulders. He's really become a strong runner this year, and he picked up a bunch. He got about 7 or 8.
See Kai Montag out there, Connor Shively out there for Henley. Also set up as the near side receiver is Jacob Bakke. And on the line, Jance Call Jr., Theron Tyler Thunderkirk out there for Henley. Here is their second and short play, 2nd and 3 officially, and it's a handoff to Brunick. Has room up the middle, gets to the 40, taking defenders with them to the 35. And a gain of about 8 yards on that carry, back-to-back. Good gains on the ground for Jeremiah. Get the Hornets a first down.
Yeah, we thought Henley might try to establish the run, and offensive line with good push on both of those first 2 plays. Good enough for the first down.
Hand the ball to a guy like Brunick and you send him up the middle. You feel pretty confident with that play, I think, at this point in the season if you're Henley.
Good experienced back, yes.
So we got Bakke set up to the near side. One man set out left. You also got the tight end there on the left side. Cox calling for the snap, and it's another handoff to Brunick. This time along the left side of the offensive line. Breaks free for another 7-yard gain. Second down, Hornets.
Those have all been straight ahead. He hasn't had to guess much. That hole opened up in a hurry. He gets right through it and picked up another 7.
Jeremiah Brunick, the last time out for Henley, had 94 yards and a touchdown on 12 carries. Again, we talked about it, though. They really split up the running duties last time out. We will see Trapper Kundal lined up back there this time. He also got 12 carries last week as what was technically a backup running back spot there for Henley, but did a fine job. Here is 2nd and 4 for the Hornets, and they've got it from the Ashland 29. Here's a handoff to Kundal, coming to the near side, cuts upfield to the 20, to the 15, lowers his shoulder at the 10. That's where he's brought down, and a big gain, nearly 20 yards upfield for Trapper Kundal, and the Hornets have it, 1st and goal.
That was well blocked, coming to the near side. And when you have 2 backs back there, Brunick kind of led the way around the corner, threw a good block, and Trapper is able to pick up the first down.
Yeah, we talked about Brunick, 12 carries, 94 yards, a touchdown last week. For Trapper, his full line was 12 carries, 90 yards, and 3 touchdowns against North Bend last week. He's still lined up to the left of the quarterback, Cox. Brunick off the right side. They've got also 2 receivers lined up to the right side and 1 way out wide to the left. It's another designed run for Kundal. Sheds 1 defender, gets to the 5, stays on his feet inside the 3 before being brought down. 2nd and goal.
Coach Paschy calling the run every time on this drive, and with good reason. You're going to force that defense to stop the play. They haven't yet. Another good gain.
Ashland has given up their fair share of points this season. You look at what they've done in their losses. 54 points surrendered a week ago, 47 the week before that, and in week 1, 42 points against Del Norte from California. Cox in 2nd and goal. He's got it from about the 3-yard line. It's a handoff to Brunick, who gets into the end zone untouched. And the Hornets have their first touchdown of the ball game with 7:22 to go in the first quarter. They lead 6-0.
Just about a perfect way to start off. Nice methodical drive. A good pace. Lots of room to run. Ending up in a touchdown for the Hornets.
So it'll be Reyes to come on and kick the extra point. Only missed 1 last week as the Hornets piled on the touchdowns, had lots of opportunities, and we'll see him try to knock one through here. The hold is there, the kick is up, and it is good. The Hornets lead 7-0 with 7:22 to go in the first quarter against the Ashland Grizzlies. More after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local, community engaged.
7:22 left to go in the first quarter, and the Henley Hornets lead the Ashland Grizzlies 7-0. That last drive for Henley going 6 plays, 50 yards in about 3 minutes, capping it off with a 4-yard touchdown rush from Jeremiah Brunick, and that's how we get our score of 7-0.
It's been all about the line so far on both sides of the football. Henley playing very well, still early in the game.
It's an onside kick. Kicks up at the 50. The Hornets have it. There is a flag down. We'll see exactly how this gets ruled. It looked from here that the Hornets touched it after the ball had already gone 10 yards. I can't foresee it being that, but otherwise I don't quite know. Hornets did recover the football, but again, that flag we'll have to find out.
It really is an art, kicking an onside kick, and that was a beautiful one. You want the ball to go 10 yards and then bounce up in the air. That's exactly what happened. Henley was able to easily grab the football. But the penalty is going to make things complicated. We've got a little conference.
Yeah, officials talking things over. They're talking with Coach Matt Green here on the near sideline. I'd be shocked if they said this thing didn't go 10 yards. It looked pretty obvious that it almost went a full 15.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if somebody was offsides.
Could be.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't see what happened.
Well, our officials are breaking up. Let's see. They're waving the flag off.
Yeah. You're right, Josh. They probably thought it didn't go 10 yards, but in fact, it did. So Henley will regain possession.
This is a big deal for Henley. They're going to try to add on to this 7-0 advantage early. You talk about that Henley might be feeling a little hurt on offense. Keeping the ball and keeping the momentum is going to be important, especially in the early parts of this ball game. Getting Derek good quality snaps and getting him broken into the game is important.
Absolutely.
So they take it 1st and 10 from the Ashland 49-yard line. And there is just under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Henley already leads by 7. Hornets bunched up on the line of scrimmage. Only one receiver set out wide to the right, and they've got Brunick off the right hip of Derek Cox. Derek receives the snap, a bit of a high snap. Pardon me, that was Kundal off the hip of the quarterback. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but not much further. It'll bring up 2nd down.
Aiden Welch with a tackle for the Grizzlies. By far their best defensive play, almost no gain. 2nd down.
Welch, a senior, 5'11" for the Grizzlies, 180 pounds. He's wearing the number 5 out there. You see him on the near side of the defense if you're watching the live stream on mybasin.com.
We'll see how they adjust. Henley had it pretty easy going that first drive on the run, so we'll see if Ashland makes some changes.
They're bringing in both backs, Kundal and Brunick, both on the field. This is the same formation that Henley scored out of their last time out. Here's the 2nd and 10 play. Derek hands it off to Trapper, going on a sweep play to the left side, finds some room near the sideline, upfield, and a gain of nearly 9 yards on the carry for Kundal. That'll bring up 3rd and short here for Henley. First time they've had to face 3rd down tonight.
That time they went outside. Henley's run between the tackles for the most part tonight. That play worked outside. It'll be 3rd and short.
Well, it's something that we kind of talked about in North Bend last week when you got these two different guys, different runners in Brunick and Kundal. You're comfortable with Brunick going up the middle. You're comfortable getting Trapper out in some space, and so far that's what Henley's done with these two guys.
Right. Effective.
So here is 3rd and about 2 here for Henley. They'll snap it from the Ashland 40 as they go from left to right. Cox has been taking his time, wanting to establish a tempo in the backfield. I think he just got the Grizzlies to jump. They're going to say the Grizzlies stayed on their side of the football. Henley now has to get ready to call a play, though, after that brief confusion. And we're going to have a timeout called before we can get it done. Coach Green is going to burn one of Henley's timeouts here with 5:03 to go in the first quarter. Henley leads 7-0. Want to remind you, tonight's game on mybasin.com is brought to you by Howard's Meat Center, where tradition meets innovation with every cut and every bite of Smokin' H barbecue. As you step through their doors, you're not just entering a meat center, you're stepping back in time when the quality of the meat and the depth of the customer service were everything. You can check out Howard's Meat Center next to Les Schwab Tires on South 6th Street. Also want to give a shout to Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. They're changing their name coming up first of the year. They'll be known as Sage Community Credit Union coming up in just a couple of months. But either way, they know that making the journey easier, the distance shorter, that can all assure that you end up at the right place. So whether you're dreaming of owning a home or you just want a great checking account, Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union, soon to be Sage Credit Union, they can help you reach your goals. Here we go, back on the field, 5:03 to go in the first. 7-0 Henley leads. They face third down for the first time tonight. It is 3rd and 2. Different formation here for the Hornets. 3 receivers out to the near side. They've got a tight end lined up left. It's going to be a handoff to the back. Kundal busts through the line of scrimmage and gets the first down, a gain of 5 when he only needed 2, and it's a first down for the Hornets.
Nice work on the third down conversion. Good line play and a good timeout by the Hornets right there. This is Derek's first start. He's a sophomore, so just wanted first down.
Trapper comes off the field. We're going to see, believe just Brunick lined up back there. No, pardon me. I did see Handsome Townsend check into the game. I was trying to make out who that was, and so he's lined up to the left hip of the quarterback, Cox. You got Reyes set out to the wide left side, and set up here near to the right is Jacob Baki. Here's 1st and 10 for the Hornets. Ashland sending a blitz off the right side. They hand it off to Townsend, and that's where he's wrapped up and taken down right there on the right side of the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a yard on that play. 2nd down coming up for Henley.
That was Reese Mahoney. You're right, Josh. He was in a straight line to the runner that time. A little tackle for loss.
Reese Mahoney, 6'2", a sophomore, number 16 on your screen on mybasin.com, 195 pounds. Ashland is a young team. They've got a lot of key players who are sophomores. We talked about their quarterback. Their receiver core is largely sophomores as well, and, well, sophomores. Here's 2nd down and 11 for Henley. And a whistle. Let's see. I believe we've got I think a reset of the game clock, perhaps. They're pointing at the timekeeper.
That's a clock issue.
So it was a run play, and so they want to run the clock, I think, is the issue. But it's been paused at 3:29 here for a minute. It looks like we're ready to go.
I've done that job. It's a thankless job.
It is. And when you get it wrong, it's yes, everyone.
But they do good work.
Yeah. Here we go. 2nd and 11 for the Hornets. Again, 3 guys set out wide to the near side. It's an option keeper for the quarterback, Cox. Makes it upfield. The ball pops free. And I think the Grizzlies fell on it. Let's see. Well, it does look like Ashland recovered that fumble. And so they'll take it over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Ashland creating a break for themselves. Forced a turnover, picked up the fumble. Just what they needed. They're down 7.
Last time out for Ashland, it was a 3-and-out. They punted deep in their own territory, set up Henley nice for a offensive drive in which they punched it in for 7 points. But Henley, that ended a drive of 5 plays for them. They didn't get a lot of ways upfield, only about 20 yards upfield. But they took a fair amount of time off the clock, nearly 3 minutes off the clock for Henley on that drive, which flared out after the fumble. Now Ashland a chance to respawn, down 7-0. Again, 3:15 to go in the first quarter. Colton Hernandez is lined up with 2 receivers set out to either side. Drops back, has time to throw in the pocket, rolls out to his right side, looks downfield. It is incomplete. The intended target there on the far side looked to be Aiden Welch, but it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Good pressure from the Henley line. Venegas over there, causing that quarterback to scramble a little bit. That's just what you want to do. Incomplete pass will bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, Hernandez, like we've said, he's Been big for Ashland this year, along with being in the top 10 in the state in both passing yards and passing touchdowns. He was also the OSAA Toyota Player of the Week a couple of weeks ago in the team's loss to North Bend, through 6 touchdown passes in that game. Here they face 2nd and 10. It's a load option pitched out to the near side. The running back has it, and he's brought down at about the 37-yard line. That was Oscar Hernandez on the carry, the senior back, and it brings up 3rd and about 8 or so yards.
Trapper Kundal with an excellent tackle, made his way to that sideline, wouldn't let the back get around the end, just picked up a couple of yards. Good defense.
Ashland facing 3rd down for the 2nd time tonight. Of course, 0 for 1, going 3 and out their last time up, but now facing 3rd and 8, like we thought. 2 men set out to either side for the quarterback, and the running back, Hernandez, off the right side of the quarterback, Colton Hernandez. They put a man in motion. It's Iwamoto from left to right. Snap is received by the quarterback. He rolls to his right side, looks downfield. It is caught on the sideline. Did he stay in bounds? It looks like he did. A great catch along the sideline from Iwamoto. Kind of a wheel route opened him up on the sideline, and that's a 1st down for Ashland.
And now we're seeing how Ashland's offense is electric when they can throw the football. That was a great throw from Hernandez. He was on a dead run to his right, threw the ball on the run. Perfect little out route. And a big gain for the Grizzlies.
So here we go, 1st and 10 for Ashland. And they've got it now at the Henley 37-yard line, flipping field position on that throw and catch. Similar formation here for the Grizzlies. Hernandez crouches down, gets in his ready stance, receives the snap, play action pass, thrown over the middle and broken up. Again, that was, I believe, Ronan Wright on the pass break up there, and it brings up 2nd and 10.
Henley's done a nice job on those intermediate routes, 5 to 10 yards down the field. They really covered the receivers well, and that was no exception. Really no chance to catch that one.
So 2nd and 10, the clock stops, 2:07 to go in the 1st. Henley leads Ashland 7-0 in this league contest. Hornets looking to improve to 3-0 in conference play. Ashland trying to grab their 1st win in the conference this season. Here they face, again, 2nd and 10 from the Henley 37-yard line. It's a play-action pass, more of a screen pass, and they find Hernandez. Catches it at the 35, brings it up to the 30, and he's knocked down at the 25. Called out a gain of about 12 on that play, and it brings up an Ashland 1st down.
That was well executed. How many times have we seen that, Josh? You have an aggressive defensive line. You run that screen, you kind of let them come through. You dump it over the top, and there's a lot of room. And Ashland ran that perfectly. Good enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, they like to get the ball to Oscar Hernandez. They've gotten it to him a couple of times now through the air. The senior running back, he is lined up in the slot on the near side as it's an empty backfield for the quarterback, Colton Hernandez. He's got 3 men to the right and 2 to the left. 1st and 10 from the Henley 25-yard line. Hernandez feels pressure to his backside, sheds one defender, scrambling down he goes at the 40. A swarm of Hornets, 4 of them in on the tackle, and that's a huge loss of about 20 yards. Oh, man. 15, they'll call it. 2nd and long.
Huge tackle for loss. Trapper Kundal was the first one there. Fullerton also on the scene. A good defense from Henley that time. That is a big loss. We're looking at 2nd and 20 plus.
The yard to gain is the 15. This one will be snapped from the 39. And with under a minute to go now in the 1st quarter, this could be one of the last plays we see of this quarter. 2 out to either side for Ashland, and the running back Hernandez off the left hip of the quarterback. Colton Hernandez gets in a low stance to receive the snap. It's a sweep handoff. On the carry is Iwamoto, and he gets upfield for a short gain of about 4 yards. This will bring up 3rd down and 20. And I believe with the ball going out of bounds, it stops the clock at 24 seconds. So the longest 3rd down conversion attempt for Ashland comes here. Again, 3rd and 20.
Yeah, 2nd and 24, and they opted for a run play. I think they're trying to be a little tricky, try to catch Henley off their game, but Henley was right there. to make the play. So now it brings up a third and very long.
It was a sweep handoff with the receiver on that run play. Iwamoto, a sophomore receiver. We talked about the young receiving core and a young quarterback for Ashland. It's exciting to see them now and see where they'll be in a couple of seasons with these young teams. Ashland still coming into their own, and they're facing a tough Henley team tonight. Down a touchdown here late in the first quarter. Hernandez back to pass, moves up in the pocket, throws one way downfield. That is incomplete. There is a flag, and this one's likely going against the Hornets after that incompletion.
Yeah, Ashland's had a little bit of success throwing the ball down the field. Not as successful with the shorter passes, but that time the Henley defender just not playing the football, kind of ran into that receiver and drew a pass interference call. I think that was David Carter. I think his number has changed tonight, Josh. I think he's 81. He's He's normally 14.
Yep.
I think he's his favorite receiver, so he tends to go to him. Big target. I think he's 6'4", so good place to go with the football if you're Ashland. And they're going to get a big gainer, but still third down.
Yeah, so they don't actually – it's a 15-yard penalty. Still short of the sticks, though, as they faced 3rd and 20. So now it's about 3rd and 6 or so for Ashland. They have it from the 22, and the yard to gain is the 15. So 3rd and 7. Similar formation here for the Grizzlies. Hernandez receives the snap, drops back to pass. Has lots of time. Looks right. The pass is incomplete. The intended target there on the far side was Kai Fight, and it brings up 4th down.
Jacob Bakke on the coverage for Henley. Nice work on the far side. And that brings us to a 4th down decision for Ashland.
Yeah, again, this is kind of that spot in the field where teams will tend to go for it unless they feel real confident in a field goal kicker. But I see the quarterback, Colton Hernandez, getting a play call in from the sideline. It looks like the Grizzlies are content to go for it here on 4th down. It'll be their first 4th down conversion attempt tonight, and it'll be 4th and 7. Same formation here for the Grizzlies. 2 set out to either side. Colton Hernandez. Again, time to throw in the pocket. Looks deep towards the right side. That one is incomplete, and another flag. And again, likely going against the Hornets. It looked like he brought down the receiver by his jersey trying to bring that football in. And on 4th and 7, the Grizzlies just earned a 1st down, if it goes like it looked like it did.
It was a good throw, and that's one of those situations. It might have been a good penalty. I think if he hadn't grabbed his shirt and held him up, he might have caught that for a touchdown. So he was beaten on the far side. Really good throw. So that will be pass interference against the Hornets, and it should be enough for an Ashland 1st down.
So they'll take that conversion, and that will also put them inside the 10. It should be 1st and goal, Grizzlies. Or is it 1st and 10 from the 10.5? I think it's 1st and 10 from about the 10.5-yard line. 6 seconds to go in the first quarter. Grizzlies with 3 first downs on this drive. They're looking to punch it in for 6. Here's a handoff to Hernandez. He is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. The Henley Hornets will take a 7-0 lead to the second. Back after this, Henley football continues on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
At GINO'S on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
GINO'S on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at iloveginos.com. GINO'S on East Main, simply good food.
Second quarter action begins now from Hill O'Brien Field on the campus of Henley High School. The Hornets at home taking on the Ashland Grizzlies. And as we get started in the second, Henley leads 7-0, but the Grizzlies have it first and 11 from the 11. Pardon me, second and 11. Here we go. Hernandez rolls out to the right side, looking towards the end zone. The pass is incomplete. Intended target on that play was Cole Iwamoto, and it brings up third and 11 for the Grizzlies as we get rolling in the second.
Jerry Brunick with the coverage, and good pressure from Jackson Hart on the end of that Henley line. Third down.
I think Brunick has really improved over the course of the season and probably throughout the summer as well in pass coverage. He's a linebacker who likes to come up and hit you, but he came away with an interception last week playing just simple zone coverage. He's been reading offenses pretty well in the second part of the season.
He's playing that safety spot tonight for Gianni. Doing a good job.
11th play of the drive here, third and 11 from the 11 for the Grizzlies. Hernandez back to pass. It's a quick one. A fade to the end zone. The pass is caught, and a touchdown for the Grizzlies. They now trail by 1, 7-6 with 11:47 to go in the second quarter. There he was, Kevin, David Carter on the touchdown reception.
Yeah, he's probably his favorite target. Big target, another good throw. He's really impressing me with his arm on those deeper patterns. And Ashland's got a chance to tie this game.
Extra point kick coming up. This looks like Saxon Brock, a junior, to try to punch it through the uprights and tie the ball game. The snap, the hold, the kick is through, and the Grizzlies have tied the Hornets 7-all, 11:47 to go in the second quarter. More Henley football after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local, community, engaged.
Welcome you back to Henley football tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com. Tied up at 7 as the Ashland Grizzlies capped off an 11-play drive that took them just over 4 minutes. Capped it off with a David Carter touchdown catch from about 12 yards out, and that's how we wind up tied at 7.
You know, watching the game, you felt like Henley was dominating things, but turnovers are the great equalizer, and Ashland just needed one turnover, one short field, and they've tied the ball game.
Yeah, that was a 65-yard drive there for Ashland. And now they'll be kicking it off. It is Reyes and I think Townsend on the far side for Henley. And here's the kick, kind of a squib kick. Kicks up around the 25, and it's fielded at the 15 by Townsend. Brings it up to the 20, now to the 25. That's where he's wrapped up and wrestled down. Hornets take it over. First and 10, might have got up to the 26 with 11:41 remaining in the half.
Henley trying to regroup after the fumble on their last possession. And when you're trying out new people at quarterback and other positions, it's not simple. So it's going to take a little time for this offense to get things back to normal. I think Henley's yet to attempt a pass.
You're correct, yeah.
So just kind of a work in progress.
Going to have Brunick back there with Cox. Two receivers bunched to the near side, two bunched to the far side. And no tight ends on the field. Here we go. Cox trying to get Ashland to jump to no avail. Here's a handoff to Brunick. Tries to find some room along the left side of the line and gets upfield for a gain of about 6 yards on that carry. Brings up second down for the Hornets.
Good pickup on first down. That's always important to keep drives moving. If you get a good gain on first down, it makes things a lot easier. You can open up your playbook a little bit on 2nd and 4.
See exactly where the Hornets wind up going here. 2nd and 4, similar formation. Reyes and Shively to the near side. Baki out to the far side, although this time Montag is out on the field, lined up as the tight end on the right side. Running back Brunick off the right side of Cox. They put Montag in motion from right to left. Here's the handoff to Brunick on that right side again. Finds a hole up to the 35, and he's brought down at about the 37 or so yard line. Picks up 5 yards. That's good enough for a Hornets first down.
We've seen that play work with success all season. Montag comes into motion and does a nice little kick-out block, and it really works. It gives that back some room to pick up enough yardage for the first down.
Montag's been a fun guy to watch come along this season. First-year varsity starter, junior, 6 foot tall. Played varsity basketball a season ago, too, but has really embraced this role as a hard-hitting tight end, and he can catch the ball, too. Here's 1st and 10 for the Hornets. They've got it from their own 37-yard line. Another handoff to Brunick. Gallops past the 40, down at the 45, and a gain of nearly 9 yards on that carry for Brunick. Second down.
Yeah, you can't arm tackle Brunick. If you try, he'll just get right through the tackle, and that's what happened there. A few Grizzlies had a chance to get him, but he picked up 9.
Brunick still out there. No sign of another back coming in quite yet for Henley. They're content to continue running the ball with Brunick, and he's shown us why he's very, very good. And Montag this time lined up to the near side. They've got Reyes lined up to the near side as well. Baki on the far side. And Brunick with the quarterback in the backfield. Here's 2nd and short. It's going to be a delayed handoff to Brunick. Again along the near side. Turns on the Jets, and there he goes to the 40, to the 30, inside the 20, down at the 10. And a late flag on that tackle. Brunick with a huge gain of 45 yards, and the Hornets have it inside the 15, 1st and 10. There is a flag down. We'll sort it out. It looked like it might be on the tackle. Brunick was brought down sort of awkward. We'll sort it out, though.
They may call a horse collar on that, but it was fun to see him get outside and actually turn on the Jets. We haven't seen that yet tonight, and he really showed his speed on that carry down this near sideline.
Darren Rutledge, again, our white cap tonight. And there you go, horse collar tackle. Hornets going to get a little bonus out of this one. They're going to mark it off half the distance to the goal. 1st and goal, Hornets from about the 6-yard line. They've got it 9.5 to go in the first half, and they are tied up at 7 against the Ashland Grizzlies. And now we see the 2-back set for the Hornets. Back there is Trapper Kundal and Handsome Townsend. Cox waits for the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Townsend. Barrels his way forward, reaches for the goal line, and he is in. And the Hornets add another with 9:10 to go in the first quarter. They take the lead 13-7 on a 6-yard touchdown rush for Handsome Townsend.
Good effort from Handsome. Able to get that ball over the goal line. He looked like he was going to come up short, but was able to extend the football. And Henley takes the lead here early in the second quarter.
Good one to get there. Just a nice little 6-yard touchdown rush. Ran that sweep play they had been running with Trapper, but they used Trapper as a leading block on that play, and Townsend punches it in for 6. Now Reyes trying to add the extra point and put him up by a full clean 7. The kick is up, and you bet Reyes is good. 14-7 the score, 9:10 to go in the second quarter. Back after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
$9:10 to go in the second quarter. Henley added another touchdown on their last drive. They lead 14-7 against the Ashland Grizzlies. 6 plays and 75 yards later, the Hornets take about 2.5 minutes off the clock and punch it in with a 6-yard touchdown rush for Handsome Townsend. Last time the Hornets scored a touchdown, they then came out and did an onside kick. I think it surprised Ashland last time, but we'll see if they try something like that again here.
Surprised me.
Yeah, me too. Ashland's going to get up on the 50. They're prepared for it. The kick is a standard kick. It's going to be fielded about the 15, brought up to the 20. It's Iwamoto past the 30 to the 35, and he's brought down about the 37 or so yard line. That's where the Grizzlies will start over with their third possession of the ball game with 9 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Brody Fullerton in there for the special teams tackle. And Henley offense looks very good. They had the turnover that kind of stymied the one drive, of course, but very effective, able to score the football twice and take a 14-7 lead.
For the Grizzlies, their offense looked good last time out on the field, too.
Yeah.
11 plays, about 4 minutes off the clock, and a touchdown catch from David Carter. So we'll see. Grizzlies started from the exact same field position on their last drive. Here they go, 1st and 10 from the 35. This time a tight end is lined up as an extra blocker in the backfield. They're going to hand it off up the middle, but there is a whistle. And I believe Ashland false started, and so they're going to go backwards on this one.
Yeah, Ashland had all their success on passing plays. They drew a couple pass interference plays and had a couple nice catches as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them throw the football. That's where they're strongest. And that Henley defense, the most important thing is they can't let those receivers get behind them. That's where they get in trouble. You keep everybody in front of you, you have a little better chance to prevent them from scoring.
It's what makes a defense, it's such a fine line between being aggressive and going after the quarterback and then also making sure that no one gets behind you.
Yes.
It's a lot easier said than done.
Right.
All right, here we go. 1st and 15 for the Grizzlies. 2 set to the near side, 2 set to the far side. And they put a man in motion. That's Lavors. It's a play-action sweep handoff. The quarterback still has it. Hernandez rolls out to the left side and then dumps off an incomplete pass. And that will bring up 2nd and 15.
A good team defense. Pressure up front, good coverage down the field. Hernandez had to just throw the football away.
Hernandez kind of, not sure if it was designed that way or he looked a little bit out of sorts with the way he wound it up after the play action. Had his back to the defense and then just had to scurry off to the side and get rid of it. We'll see if they try play action like that again. It has opened up some room for him as Hernandez gets the call in.
Yeah, it's tough when you run like that. You lose your vision.
Yeah.
You know, your head's to one side, so most definitely it's tough to throw on the run like that.
Not many guys can do it effectively. 2nd and 15. And here we go for Ashland. Tight end lined up on the right side. 2 receivers also to the near side. It's a pitch to Oscar Hernandez. He slips and falls at the 28. And that's going to go in as a loss of 2 yards. A little bit slick out there. 3rd and 17.
Good break for Henley. Running back slips, but it was pretty well covered. I don't think he would have picked up too many yards. And 3rd and long for Ashland.
Yeah, they tried that kind of load option pitch play to the near side. Don't know if it's designed as an option or if it's designed as a pitch play, but regardless, Henley has done a nice job of sealing off that edge. And really, ever since the Cascade Christian game, they've done a good job of sealing off that edge. They did it well against Hidden Valley and North Bend last week.
Yes.
So 3rd and 16 officially for Ashland tonight. They are 1 of 3 on 3rd down conversion attempts. They have 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And the running back, Oscar Hernandez, to the left side of the quarterback in the gun. 3rd and 16. Hernandez rolls left, sets his feet, looks downfield. That pass is well overthrown. His intended receiver down the sideline was David Carter. And I think he stopped somewhere in the middle of that route, causing the incompletion. Sort of an unfortunate break there for the Grizzlies, but it brings up 4th and long.
Yeah, he was looking for Carter, and Sam Bennett was back there with good coverage. On a 3rd and long, he was not going to let that receiver get open down the field. And looks like a punting situation for Ashland.
Reyes back to receive at the 30. And to punt for the Grizzlies, and I believe it's Brock. Calls for the snap. It's a little bit high, but he gets it cleanly. The punt is up at the 20. A tall punt is going to kip up around the 40 and roll about the 37-yard line. That's where Henley will take it over in their own territory. 7:49 remaining in the first half.
Henley will get good field position. Another pretty good punt. A lot of air under that punt. Gives his team a chance to go down and make the tackle. Good kick. have a score, Josh?
Yeah.
From Cross Point, they're at Glendale tonight. That game's almost at halftime. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Cross Point leading 22-0.
Both of those teams unbeaten in their league in Special District 1 in the 1A 8-man class, so this one going a pretty long way to decide a league champion. So Hornets have it again, 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Last time the Hornets had the football, 6 plays and 75 yards, earned them a touchdown. Now starting with a little bit better field position. Derek with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They put Reyes in motion, and it's a sweep handoff to Reyes. Moves along to the outside, has some room on the sideline, cuts up past midfield, now to the 40. That's where he's tripped up out of bounds, just past the 40, maybe got to the 35, but a big-time gain of about 25 yards or more on the carry for Reyes. First down, Hornets.
That was just good old-fashioned speed. You don't realize how fast all of these backs are for Henley. You just replace them another back, and they're just as quick. Good run for Julian.
What shocked me about that play was he's going to the sideline, and I'm waiting for him to cut up field. He waited to the last possible second and then still got 20-plus yards.
He did, yes.
Great play there by Julian Reyes. And now the Hornets line up 1st and 10 into Ashland territory at the 35-yard line. Trapper Kundal is the back next to Cox on this play. 2 receivers set to either side. Grizzlies. They've got linebackers flirting with a blitz. Here's Montag in a bit of motion and a whistle. Let's see if it's false start or offsides. We're going to find out. It's a false start. Hornets will have to face 1st and 15. Hasn't been a lot of penalties in terms of the offensive line play. We did see those 2 pass interference calls earlier, but usually you see a lot more of those false start, offside calls, even at this point in the season, but the Henley line has been disciplined so far tonight.
Yeah, Henley's done a good job offensively, not making too many mistakes. And they'll have to deal with a 1st and 15 now.
Derek getting the play call in from the sideline as he breaks the huddle. Getting his first start at the varsity level in football tonight, but started nearly every varsity baseball game for Henley during the spring. Certainly no stranger to moments like these. Here's 1st and 15 for the Hornets. It's going to be a handoff to Kundal. He stays on his feet, busts through the bodies. There he goes to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Hornets. Trapper Kundal miraculously staying on his feet and taking it to the house. And the Hornets build upon this lead, 20-7.
That was a miracle. I don't know how he stayed up. There were just a mound of tacklers around him, able to find his way to the outside, and then his speed got him there the rest of the way. What a great run.
Fantastic job there by Kundal. Really just camouflaged himself in a group of bodies and took off. And now an extra point attempt. This time it's going to be Balzati to attempt the extra point here for the Hornets. The kick is up, and you bet it is good. 21-7 the score. 6:20 to go in the second quarter. Our broadcast on mybasin.com brought to you in part tonight by Abby's Legendary Pizza. If you're looking for a great place to eat, head to one of Abby's Legendary Pizza locations for some of the best pizza in the Klamath Basin at 1919 Austin Street or 2226 Shalleck Street near OIT. Abby's Legendary Pizza is a proud supporter of high school sports. Also want to give a shout out to Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. Stop by and say hi on Washburn Way. 21-7 the score. Henley leads Ashland. 6:20 to go in the second quarter. That last drive for Henley, 3 plays, 63 yards, and capping it off with a big rush from Trapper Kundal to make it, again, 21-7.
We haven't talked about the crowd tonight. You know, it's been a month since we've had a home game, and I don't think you could wedge another person into these bleachers. It is a full house. Good fan turnout on senior night. And Henley playing very well, leading 21-7.
We'll talk about those seniors a little bit during our halftime show tonight. Halftime show later on, brought to you by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. Here's the kickoff with 6:20 to go. The kick is going to be fielded at the goal line, and that will be a touchback. And so the Grizzlies will take it over, 1st and 10 from the 20.
First one of those we've seen. We like the touchbacks. And now Ashland played from behind a little bit. They're down 14. We'll see what they decide to do.
You talked about it earlier, Kevin. They've had a lot of success on the passing game. More so the deep passes, the stuff over the middle, which has burned Henley a lot this season. They've done a better job covering it.
Yeah, that intermediate pass is not really working for Ashland. They've had success on a screen play. They had one good screen play, and then for the most part, just downfield passing.
See where the Grizzlies go here. They put trips bunched up on the left side. Running back also off the left hip of the quarterback. One receiver to the near side. They go for a wide receiver screen, and it works. Pass is caught. Not for much yardage, though. A gain of 1, maybe 2 on that catch there from Iwamoto.
That was well played. They allowed for the catch, but not much after it. Ronan Wright was out there. Just picked up a couple.
Something that Henley's defense knows well. They know they just want to keep it, before, not letting them get too far downfield. They did that a lot last week against North Bend. Let a guy catch a ball. Don't let him get anywhere else. So here we go. 2nd and 8 for Ashland. They're taking their time getting up on the line, trying to establish some kind of tempo and momentum. Their one score came with about a minute into the second quarter after 11 plays. Here they face 2nd and 8. Similar formation. This time they've got a receiver in motion. It is a fake handoff up the middle. Oscar Hernandez twists and turns his way near the marker. It was a fake handoff on a sweep, and then they gave it to the back. I think he might be just short of the marker. Looks like, nope, they're going to give it to him, actually. First down, Grizzlies, and they'll have it 1st and 10 at the 30.
That was a nifty spin move, and without it, I don't think he would have picked up the first down. So a good effort on the run. Jackson Hart with the tackle for Henley.
Jackson Hart up front for the Hornets senior. 5'11", 200 pounds, one of 20-plus seniors on this Henley roster. Celebrated senior night about a half hour before kickoff tonight. And now nearing halftime, Henley leads 21-7 against Ashland. 5:15 to go in the second quarter. Colton Hernandez back to pass. There is a flag. Hernandez unloads one deep downfield. The pass is incomplete on the sideline. But again, there is a flag in the backfield. We'll sort this out.
Bakke and Brunick with excellent coverage on the outside. Really nowhere to throw the football.
So they're going to call holding against Ashland. This will push them back 10 yards. It'll keep it first down. So they'll take it 1st and 20 here for the Grizzlies. They've had to play behind the sticks quite a bit. Their last drive, no, pardon me, it was the drive before it. Actually the one where they scored, where they faced at a certain point 2nd and 25.
Right.
And they still made it happen. Again, they were aided by some penalties, so it's imperative for the Hornets to play clean defense here.
Yeah, they had to throw their way out of that, and they may have to do that again here on 1st and 20.
So one wide receiver to the left, 2 to the right. And they put a man in motion from right to left. Hernandez, feeling pressure, just gets rid of it. Pass is caught by the coach on the sideline, and we'll face 2nd and 20.
Hernandez had to just throw that away. Venegas was all over him. Good pressure from LJ. 2nd down.
LJ, another one of the seniors we've talked about, 6'1", 220, up on the defensive line for the Hornets. They've done a good job of getting after the quarterback so far. Hernandez has certainly been feeling the pressure from that defensive line for Henley. 2nd and 20. 4 receivers set out for Ashland. And the running back is Oscar Hernandez to the right side of the quarterback. Looks to be a screen play that's nearly intercepted, but a great read from the All-State lineman, Jance Call Jr. He stayed home for the screen play, denied it, and it brings up 3rd and 20.
Yeah, he saw that coming, and he was able to get that hand up there and knock it down. Almost was able to make the catch. What a great play.
Yeah, he'll be one of the toughest guys to replace, I think, when you talk about this senior class. 6'2", 275, an all-state guy. He has had a really great career here at Henley.
Yeah, Henley with a lot of seniors.
Yeah.
A lot of seniors on this team.
3rd and 20 for the Grizzlies. They have not had great success on 3rd down tonight. 1 for 4 on conversion attempts, and they hand it off. Hernandez wrapped up and taken down, a tackle for loss on that play, 4th and forever.
Brody Fullerton shot through that line and had the pursuit. What a great tackle. That means 4th down and another punting situation.
And in the same breath that we talk about all these seniors, how about a freshman making the play on that one? Brody Fullerton, like you talked about, he's been great on the defensive line for Henley. He's worked himself out a starting role on the defensive line.
Yeah, he's played very well.
4th and 21. Grizzlies looking like they're going to punt on this play. Reyes at about the 40 on the other side of midfield. And Brunick at about the 40 on the other side of the field. So 20 yards between those guys. And before we get this punting play in, it looks like the Grizzlies will call time with 3:49 to go in the second quarter. Want to remind you to join us for our halftime show tonight, brought to you by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. They exist to provide a clean, multi-use facility for the advancement of health, wellness, and longevity to its members and the community. We invite you to join Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club, where they feature top-of-the-line equipment, full-service personal training, and an array of group exercise classes. Also want to give a shout to GINO'S Cafe down on East Main Street. Open up every morning at 6:30, serving up their famous breakfast burritos. Those are served all day long, along with other menu items like burgers, monthly specials, and Italian favorites. You can order online at iloveginos.com or have it brought to you on DoorDash.
Yeah, something wasn't right personnel-wise, or Ashland was confused, so they called the timeout, try to straighten things out before they punt the football away.
They'll be ready to punt now. 4th and 20, in no position to go for it, snapping the ball from their own 20. And again, to boot is Saxon Brock. Receives the snap, steps into the punt, and it does not go very far. That's going to kick out of bounds about the 45-yard line. Henley gifted with some nice field position to take over with 3:49 to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, he had a beautiful punt earlier. That one was just one of those situations, just off the side of the foot. Didn't go where he wanted it to go, and Henley with good field position, just under 4 minutes left to play in the first half.
That's the third time Ashland has been forced to punt tonight. Henley has had 4 possessions. They've scored on 3 of them, and they turn the ball over on a fumble on the other one. You see the cheerleaders making their way out onto the field with, I believe that's Elite Hive cheer along with them. We'll see them during the halftime show, but now the Hornets offense on the football. 1st and 10 from the Ashland 45-yard line. 3:50 to go in the second quarter of a 21-7 ball game. They got to get another man out on the field. The Hornets bring out Ronan Wright. Bunched up to the right side. And we're going to have a timeout called, I think just in time before a delay of game. Just another personnel issue. The Hornets calling their second charged timeout of this half. And as they do, want to remind you tonight's broadcast on mybasin.com is also brought to you in part by God's Gifts Photography. If you're a parent of a high school athlete tired of trying to take good photos and keep up with the action, there is a solution. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. You can search her up on Facebook at God's Gifts 2 to learn more. She does fantastic work. A lot of the photos that you see on mybasin.com attached to our sports stories or otherwise are taken by Annalisa. So check her out on Facebook. Again, God's Gifts 2.
That was kind of funny. Henley had 10 on the field, and Ronan Wright was just trying to be a good sport. He got out there, but I don't think he knew the play. So I think the coaches decided, well, let's call a timeout and figure this out. But, he was going to try it anyway.
Yeah, well, go out there and make something happen.
Yeah, just hit somebody.
Yeah.
Right?
So for 1st and 10 here for the Hornets. Again, at the 45 into Ashland territory. This is where they start this drive with their best starting field position of the night so far. Derek calls for the snap, drops back to pass for the first time tonight. Has some room, rolls out to the right side. He's going to scramble upfield and sheds one defender. Now has more room up past the 35. Gets drilled at the 27, but a scramble worth 17 yards for the sophomore backup quarterback and a Henley first down.
That's just what you want to see. Henley being a little bit guarded tonight with the pass with a new quarterback. That time, read the field, read it correctly, nowhere to throw. Tucked the ball and ran to his far side. A good run. Good run, picked up the first down. Well done.
Derek's going to be a good athlete for a long time. We talked about played baseball for Henley at the varsity level last year. Got good experience all the way to the state semifinal a season ago. And now getting important snaps in a big game for the Hornets as they lead the Grizzlies 21-7, 3 minutes to go in the first half, and the Hornets have it 1st and 10 at the Grizzlies 27. It's going to be a handoff to Brunick, stops on a dime, cuts up the field inside the 25 before being brought down. A gain of maybe 6 on that carry for Brunick, 2nd down.
Yeah, Henley's only thrown the ball once, so Ashland knows the run's coming, but Henley's just done a very good job executing on the line. Line play has been very good, and they're really moving the ball just whenever they want. That was good for about 5.
Seem to be stronger as the game goes on sometimes, that Henley offensive line. So 2nd and 5 here for the Hornets. Inside 2.5 minutes to go in the half. Montag in a bit of motion from left to right. And it's a handoff to Brunick. Goes along the right side, stays on his feet to the 20. I believe he stopped short of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
He made a nice cut. He saw something in there that he liked, a little lane to the inside. And he made a little gain there. It'll be 3rd down.
Hornets haven't had to face 3rd down very many times tonight. They're 1 for 1 on 3rd down. As Brunick comes off, we see Townsend back there along with Kundal with Derek Cox, the quarterback. Bakke and Montag lined out to the right side. And to the near side, it is Brian Vaughn for the Hornets. Cox with a pair of running backs next to him. It's a handoff to Townsend. Tries to go along the right side. He is wrapped up and taken down. No gain on the play. They're going to give him forward progress back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll be 4th down and 2.
Looks like A and Staten with the tackle. A nice tackle for Ashland. And that puts the Hornets in a 4th down spot. Just over a minute to play here in the first half.
Hornets can let this clock tick away, leave Ashland with not very much time, or they can try to hurry up on the football here and convert on 4th down. I think they're going to go with the latter. It looks like the offense is staying out there as they'll face 4th and 3. It'll be the first 4th down conversion attempt of the night for Henley, but you still want to give yourself enough time to run a few plays after, too, if you get the first down. Looks like we're going to get a timeout called by Henley. This is their final charged timeout of the half, and it comes with 47.5 seconds to go before halftime, and they lead 21-7. Tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by the Pacific Power Foundation, where the mission is to support the growth and vitality of local communities through charitable investments. Over the last 5 years, the Pacific Power Foundation has awarded over $13 million to nonprofit organizations. Big thanks to the Pacific Power Foundation for all they do in the community and for coming aboard to support this season of high school football in the Basin. Of course, not only covering Henley this weekend, but we'll be out at Chiloquin tomorrow for our GINO'S game of the week. As the Chiloquin Panthers take on the Riddle Irish on their senior day. We'll be live on mybasin.com at about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Let's see what Coach Pashy does. This is an interesting spot. You've got 4th and about 3. You haven't thrown the ball much tonight, but with only 47 seconds, you may want to. Or we'll see if they just try to pick up the first down running the football.
Hornets trying to capitalize with what started as good field position. They started at the 45, and now they're snapping it from about the 20. 4th and 3 here for the Hornets. They've got Kundal back there with the quarterback, Cox. They go for a quick screen pass. They find Reyes on the sideline. He gets the first down and then some. Call it a gain of about 5 or so on the pitch and catch. 1st and 10, Henley. 40 seconds to go before halftime, and I believe Reyes got out of bounds.
That was nice. Cox threw a strike. Perfect pass, just a short pass to the outside. Good enough for the first down. And there was a late flag. There was a face mask on the tackle.
So Henley getting some extra yardage out of that. They'll mark it off. I believe this is halfway to the goal.
And that worked out great for the Hornets. Clock is stopped. Picked up the first down, and they maintain possession.
1st and goal at the 10. The officials did start the clock, 35 seconds and counting. Cox gets the snap off, hands it off to Kundal, bounces along the right side, but he's swallowed up pretty quickly. Hornets need to get on the ball if they want to get another play off. There's 21 seconds and counting. They'll face 2nd and goal from the 9.
Yeah, they're going to have to hurry.
A timeout called. Let's see, did Ashland give it to him? Let's see. It must be. Yeah, the Grizzlies calling timeout. Stopping the clock with 13 seconds, giving the Hornets time to figure out a play. Kind of curious here.
That's kind of a gift for Henley, for sure. They were having to scramble, so now they can work things out. They have time for maybe 2 plays.
Think about throwing it, perhaps?
Yeah, they don't have a timeout, so you have to. You're probably going to have to throw, or you're going to have to get it all on the first play. Where the ball spotted, Josh, about the 10?
Yeah, it looks like about the 10, 2nd and goal.
Okay.
Hornets already converted on 4th down once this drive, but they don't have time. Again, only 13 seconds before halftime. Stick with us during halftime. We'll see the cheerleaders as they get warmed up. We'll also break down the first half as we've seen it. Try to give you some score updates from around the basin. Just about everybody else in action tonight except for Chiloquin. And get ready for the second half of action tonight on Henley's Senior Night. Thanks again for joining us tonight on mybasin.com.
You could get a field goal as well here, Josh. You could try a pass, and if it doesn't work, it falls incomplete, or you get out of bounds, you'd have time to kick. That could also be an option.
All right, here we go. 13 seconds, Hornets on the line of scrimmage. Cox back there with Kundal, 3 receivers to the left. Montag lined up as the tight end to the right. Cox back to pass. Looking quickly, a slant to the end zone is caught. Touchdown, Kai Montag. And the Hornets extend their lead on a quick slant route, 27-7, with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Nice throw from the sophomore. Just a simple slant, but a good hard run from Montag. He was open, and he delivered the football for the touchdown with 10 seconds to spare.
That's Montag's first touchdown tonight. It's Cox's first passing touchdown of the season. And the Hornets look to add an extra point. It is low. It is blocked. We'll keep our score at 27-7 with 10 seconds to go before halftime. That drive for Henley going 45 yards, 3 minutes, 40 seconds, 5 plays. And like we said, capped off with Kai Montag's 9-yard touchdown reception. 27-7 our score.
We'll give credit to Liam Puckett for Ashland blocking that kick. Made his way through the line and denied Henley the extra point.
Ashland does have 1 timeout for what it's worth. But with 10 seconds, you're probably only going to get 1 play anyway. So we'll see how the Hornets handle a kick as well. You want to kick it deep and drain some clock on a return. Give it a touchback, have them snap all the way from the 20. These are small decisions, and the scoreline is they're spread out a little bit. But in close games, this would be an interesting choice for Henley.
Yeah, it worked out great for Henley. You know, they get the ball also in the third quarter.
Exactly.
So having that late score in the first half, getting the ball to start the second half, things are going Henley's way here tonight.
Balzati to kick. Back to receive for Ashland. It's the usual suspects. Cole Iwamoto is back there for Ashland, and here's the kick. Ground ball kick up around the 20. That's where it's fielded. Up to the 25, now to the 30, and that's where he's going to be brought down. I think that was Kai Smith fielding that one, and it leaves the Grizzlies with about 4 seconds left on the clock. They'll get 1 play here before the end of the first half.
Bennett and McCormick on the tackle for Henley. And we'll see 1 play before Henley goes into a nice halftime lead.
You know, rarely do you feel like you got a legitimate chance to score from your own 30, but we know Ashland likes to air it out.
Yeah.
So if they can get a ball down there, it could make things interesting. The Hornets playing with 4 guys back here trying to prevent a long passing play at the end of this first half. Again, Grizzlies at their own 30. Colton Hernandez looks for a quick pass. It is incomplete to Iwamoto. And so we'll get 1 more play with 0.8 of a second to go in the first half.
We thought we'd get just 1, but we're going to get another one.
Shows me for speaking too soon.
Just under a second left. Have another score, Josh. Got a couple scores. Cross Point's up 22-0 at Glendale. And in the Spud Bowl going on tonight, Lost River and Bonanza. At halftime, Lost River leading 40-0.
Lost River's just gotten stronger as the season went on. They got a loss in week 2 to Heppner, who's one of the very best teams in the state, and they have not lost since. All right, I'm willing to bet that this will be the last play of the first half. 0.8 of a second to go. And Hernandez is going to hand it off to Oscar Hernandez. Bounces around the left side. He is taken down after a gain of about 4 yards on that carry. As we head to the locker rooms, Henley leads 27-7. Stick with us during halftime tonight. We'll talk about the first half. We'll take a look around the basin, share those score updates with you one more time, talk a little bit about senior night, all that and more as we get ready for the Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show. After this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com, Henley leads 27-7.
The best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan.
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the Basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
Josh Eldridge and Kevin Petrick back with you tonight on MyBasin.com, also on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Here at Henley High School tonight, the Hornets lead against the Ashland Grizzlies 27-7. The Hornets haven't really missed a beat on offense despite losing their starting quarterback. They scored on 4 of their 5 possessions in the first half, and they lead by a few scores.
Yeah, Henley's done really a good job playing, for the most part, just a complete game. They gave up that one drive, had the turnover on offense, but other than that, they really dominated. We were kind of focusing in on the line. The lines played very well. The lines played well on both sides of the ball, and Henley's just dominating this game. They're up 27-7, and I'm not sure what you do if you're Ashland, how you come back and try to beat that defense. Henley's just done a really, really good job.
Talk a little bit about how the game has gone so far. Ashland started with the first possession of the game. They were forced to punt on a 3-and-out. Henley got the ball at midfield after that punt, and in about 3.5 minutes and 6 plays, they punched in their first touchdown score on a 4-yard carry from Jeremiah Brunick. Henley actually recovered an onside kick on the very next kickoff, but wound up fumbling the football 5 plays into that drive, and Ashland took advantage for what has been so far their only scoring drive of the night. Took them 11 plays and about 4.5 minutes off the clock, but they capped it off with a touchdown connection between their quarterback, Colton Hernandez, and David Carter, 12 yards out, and a score for Ashland. That tied us up at 7. only about a minute into the second quarter, but since then, Henley has gone 3 for 3 on scoring drives. In 6 plays, they punched it in from 75 yards out. A 6-yard Handsome Townsend touchdown rush made it 14-7. Ashland was forced to punt. That's next time it took Henley only 3 plays to find pay dirt. Trapper Kundal rushed it from a long ways out. Don't have an official distance from it, but it made it 21-7. And then as time basically expired in the first half, it was a Kai Montag 9-yard touchdown catch. The first passing touchdown of Derek Cox's young varsity career, making it 27-7. Henley hasn't had to throw the ball very much. They have established the run very well, and much like last week, they've had 3 different guys punch in rushing touchdowns. They're sharing the ball again, Kevin.
They are, and we don't talk about it enough, but Henley's coaching staff is excellent. Coach Green and his staff, fantastic. I really like the game plan tonight. You're without Joe Janney. He's an all-state player on both sides of the ball, so you have to account for him on defense. And Jeremiah Brunick came in and played safety, did a nice job. Offensively, I thought they protected their quarterback with a really good game plan, ran the ball a lot, then kind of eased him into some passes, and it really worked well. And Derek's getting a lot of experience back there, so a lot of good things coming out of tonight's game.
You look at the stats in Henley's 2 losses this season, the big number that jumped out to me was third down conversions both on offense and defense. They weren't converting very much on offense, and they were allowing up near an 80% conversion rate for other teams. So far tonight, Ashland is 1 for 5 on third down. So Henley's defense has done a good job getting off the field. And when you talk about, your offense has some question marks around it, the defense has to step up. And well, only 1 score allowed against one of the best quarterbacks in the 4A classification this year. That's a great job.
It is great. And the sign of a good team is you're going to make mistakes, and it happens, but we make it again. And, Henley had the one drive where they allowed some passes and a couple of penalties, and then they cleaned it up. Just like that, they made some adjustments. So that's when you can tell a good veteran team able to realize where they need to fix some things and then turn it around. And that 7's all that Ashland has to show at halftime.
27-7 our score, about halfway through halftime tonight. Brought to you by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. We're going to take a break. For those of you listening on the radio, you're going to hear from one of our sponsors coming up in just a bit, from GINO'S down on East Main Street. For the rest of you on the video, we'll be back after a 4-minute timeout here at halftime. 27-7 the score. The Hornets lead the Ashland Grizzlies on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Pacific Power works day in and day out to power our communities because we know our neighbors rely on us. We're trimming and clearing branches around poles and lines, protecting our system, and giving you real-time updates when storms roll in. You can count on us in all seasons. 24/7, we're here for you. Powering your greatness.
The cars we drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance. Thanks for joining us. Elevate started in 2020 as a dream. I wanted to open up a clinic of my own, really had a heart and a passion to treat athletes of all ages, and got the opportunity to do it. And wow, this is what's happened. One of the best parts of this job is that we get to work with all the student athletes on field, at their contests, at their games, all around the county. Specifically, when you're working with dancers, right, we've got like particular ways of movement that we don't want to necessarily correct, because dancers have a very specific way of moving that's important for their athletic performance. At Elevate, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving, no matter if you're 8 or you're 80. Feel free to give us a call at 541-887-2030.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
And welcome you back to Henley High School, the site of tonight's Henley football game as they host the Ashland Grizzlies. They lead at halftime 27-7. Henley right now unbeaten in conference play. They are 2-0, 3-2 overall on the season. They trail Marshfield in the Special District 4 standings. The Pirates are also 2-0 in league play, but they're 6-0 overall on the season. They are the number 1 ranked team in the OSAA 4A classification. North Bend, third in the league right now, 1-1, 2-4 overall. Hidden Valley, also 1-1. That's their only win so far, was last week against Mazama. Otherwise, 1-4 on the season. Ashland 0-2, they're also 1-4, and Mazama is 0-2. They are 1-5 so far this season. There is your look at the Special District 4 standings, and talked about it a little bit earlier, Kevin, the playoff format changing in the 4A class this year. In the past, 2 teams from each league make it an automatic bid, and then you have a handful of at-large teams. This year, a little bit different. They're taking 3 teams each from the 5 classifications. Get you 15 teams. You get 1 at-large team this year. So if you're going to finish third, you want to be ranked near the top. If it were to end today, it would probably be Special District 2, which gets an extra team in there, maybe Special District 3. We're talking about the kind of Cascade, Staten, Estacada, Junction City, that kind of league.
Yeah.
So you're wanting to finish in the top 3 of this league because, well, the way it looks right now, only 3 teams from our conference are going to make it.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have a program we get to talk about the playoffs at this time of the year.
Yeah.
You can't take that for granted. Henley's at 4 right now in the computer, and with 16 teams, one plays 16, 2 plays 15. So if you can get to that top 4 and you can win that first game, you'll get a second home game. So that's what coaches look at. They like having those 2 home games, and Henley's right there. They're in the top 4. They'll play number 1 Marshfield next week.
Yeah.
So that will help their ranking as well. So it's a lot of numbers and a lot of stuff, but it matters, and the kids know. So, yeah, we have some interesting playoff games and important games coming up.
Yeah, North Bend would be if the playoffs started today, North Bend would be the 3rd team in. And we saw them last week. They're very good. Would love to see them represent the conference. And selfishly, maybe I hope Hidden Valley gets in there too, because
right.
I went there. They're in 4th place right now. They're technically tied with North Bend. Their overall record gives North Bend the slight edge there. But we'll certainly keep you up to date on what's going on in the 4A classification. Other teams in the mix right now in the top 10, of course, Marshfield, Cascade, Tillamook are the top 3, and then you've got Henley and Scappoose to round out the top 5. So it's good competition around the state. It's been kind of hard to decipher who really is the very best, because you even look at a team like Marist, who's 2-4 to start the year, and well, they are the state champions last year,
right.
Kevin.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting to start this season.
yeah, there's some really good teams spread across the state, and it's hard to tell with the competition sometimes because, for example, Henley played the number 1 3A team in Cascade Christian. They also played a 5A. Other schools would play 5A, and so it's a little bit jumbled, and it's hard to tell who's who. But by the time you get to the end, the computers are pretty accurate.
They are at the end.
I'm always surprised how those top 8. You look at it and. With the way it all shakes out, they pretty much are the top 8. So
it usually takes till about when you lock everything to the last week of the season.
Yep.
But as things shape out right now, we haven't seen Marshfield yet, but I've seen nothing to say they aren't the number 1 team in the state right now.
Right.
They're 6-0. They themselves, along with Cascade, are the only unbeaten teams left in the state. So it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. But right now, Henley isn't concerned with Marshfield or anybody else except for the Ashland Grizzlies. And so far, they've handled business through one half of football. 27-7 the score. We'll be back with third quarter action coming up in just a bit as Henley High School football continues tonight on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com.
The best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan.
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the Basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
Right.
Appreciate you being with us through the Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club halftime show. Harbor Isles exists to provide a clean, multi-use facility for the advancement of health, wellness, and longevity to its members and the community. We invite you to join Harbor Isles, where they feature top-of-the-line equipment, full-service personal training, and an array of group exercise classes. As we get ready for the third quarter, it's 27-7, the Henley Hornets lead as we bring up the Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance scoreboard. Kevin, Henley has the lead, and like has been the case for so many games this season, they'll get the ball after halftime, too, a chance to build on it here a little bit.
Yeah, they're really good at time management, and they did a perfect job at the end of the first half. Able to score, didn't panic, even though the clock was running down, able to finish that drive with a touchdown. And now they'll get the ball back to start the third quarter.
So you broke out the jacket for the second half, Kevin. Before the game started, you said you didn't bring the heavy-duty stuff.
I did, and then I went back to the car. It was good. And the good thing about the headsets, they're more like earmuffs tonight. You get to keep your ears warm. So, yeah, it's but we've had nice weather. Everybody's saying the 2 words you don't want to hear for next week, atmospheric river.
Oh, no.
Yes.
What does that mean? Does that mean that, like, torrential rain?
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
But I don't know. It's still a week out.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'll think about that when it's time to think about that.
This has been a really nice night.
52 degrees in the Klamath Basin. Clear skies before kickoff. Now night has fallen over the Klamath Basin. had one of our 300 days of sunshine. I always count myself thinking how lucky we are that we really do get 300 days of sunshine. It's not just a saying. We are the city of sunshine. I lived other places. You've lived other places, Kevin. It's not sunny even when it's cold outside in other places. It's sunny when it's cold outside here in the Klamath Basin.
It is.
We should be lucky.
And the humidity's great. Not much of that. It's a nice place to live.
So Hornets back to receive. They're seemingly anticipating an onside kick out of the Grizzlies here. We got only a couple of guys back to receive for the Hornets, and they're stationed about the 15. A big gap. Everyone else is up on the 50. Ashland not going for an onside kick. Reyes will field it at the 10. Now to the 20 as he cuts back over the middle of the field. Now coming to the near sideline to the 25. Now to the 30. Up the middle to the 40. Reyes is brought down past the 40 at the 41. And a 30-plus yard return for Reyes gives Henley nice starting field position in the third quarter.
That was a nice patient run. There are a couple of ways to attack that. You can either just sprint and just pick a lane and go, or you can kind of wait for your blocks to develop, and that's what he did that time. A nice run back all the way out to the 40.
Hornets have been good at that, not only on special teams, but really that's their bread and butter. Be patient,
right.
Wait for the blocks to develop, because really that's how every run goes. The running back will tell you he's only as good as the blockers are.
Yeah.
And so a nice job there by the Hornets. Here they go, 1st and 10 from the 41. They drive from right to left, and they lead 27-7 at the start of the third quarter. Derek Cox, sophomore backup quarterback, hands it off to Jeremiah Brunick. Bus upfield to the 50, no one in front of him, to the 40, to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Hornets. On the first play from scrimmage in the second half, the Hornets punch it in, making it 33-7. A 60-yard rush for Jeremiah Brunick, his second touchdown of the night.
They made that look easy, just playing with confidence, making the blocks, executing the run plays, and Jeremiah showing us his speed once again. Another touchdown.
That is the longest touchdown tonight for the Hornets. Credit Jeremiah Brunick, his second score of the evening. Reyes with the kick. It's good. And the Hornets now lead 34-7, only 25 seconds into the third quarter. We'll be back with more Henley football after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local, community, engaged.
Josh Eldridge and Kevin Petrick back with you on mybasin.com and 104.3 and 960 Sports. Henley leads 34-7. That last play, not very complicated. Give it to Jeremiah Brunick. He takes it 60 yards to the house. One play and a score for the Hornets, making it 34-7. Ashland will presumably get their first drive of the second half next. Balzati to kick. And here we go. Really puts a jolt behind that one, but it's fielded at the 5. Brought up past the 20. And a fumble at the 25. The Hornets think they have it. And they do. A fumble recovery on the kickoff. The Hornets will have it 1st and 10 from the Ashland 35-yard line. Pardon me, I believe that's the 25-yard line. Great starting field position here for Henley in the third quarter. That's why I have to hold my words. Presumably Ashland would have gotten the ball back there, but Henley takes it right back.
Good tackling. Lucas McCormick and Jaden Pena were around the football. And Henley's going to get another shot on offense.
Some to keep note of. Hornets closing in on the possibility of a running clock if they punch in a touchdown here. So we'll keep you close on that as well. 1st and 10, Henley from the 25-yard line. Into Ashland territory, they drive from right to left, back towards Henley High School. Cox calls for the snap. It's a handoff to Kundal. Along the near side, has blockers to the 20. He's brought down at the 17-yard line. Call it a gain of 7. There is a flag on the play. And they're going to discuss. The flag is stationed right around the line of scrimmage, too. This could be coming back. Darren Rutledge, our white cap again tonight as he signals holding against the Hornets. 1st and 20.
Henley's done a lot right tonight. And that one will cost them 10 yards, though.
Want to give one more shout to our officials tonight. Cooper Roberts, Colton Wright out there as well, Rick Ladner. Always needing more officials in Oregon. If you want to become an official, whether it's for football or anything else, visit osaa.org/officials. Whatever the sport is that you played in high school or that you just love, they need your help. So visit osaa.org/officials. Here we go, 1st and 20 for the Hornets. They have it at the 35-yard line. Same formation, though this time Reyes is in motion. He takes the pitch on the sweep handoff, finds his way up on the right side of the line. A gain of maybe 5 yards on that carry, brings up 2nd and 15.
Ashland did a pretty good job stretching that play out, but Reyes made a nice cut. He was able to pick up a few yards.
Hornets content to just run the football, and even when you're facing 1st and 20, if you can count on 5-6 yards a carry, you feel confident getting all that back, and so far the Hornets have done that, at least on the first down play. Now again, they face 2nd and 16, the official down and distance. 3 receivers set to the near side, 1 to the far side on the right. Brunick back there with the quarterback, Cox. It's a fake handoff. Derek takes it the other way, skates up the middle for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. He kept it on the option, had the defense going one way, and he was able to get upfield for a short gain.
We've seen him carry the ball a few times. He's a good runner. And 3rd and long for Henley.
Haven't had to face 3rd down a lot tonight. They were 1 for 2 on such attempts in the first half. Even when they failed that 3rd down conversion attempt, though, they did get it on 4th down, so they haven't been forced to punt at all tonight. The one drive they didn't score was a fumble, and so they have been efficient, to say the very least, tonight. Here they go, 3rd and 13 officially. Inside of 10 minutes to go in the 3rd. Henley leads 34-7. Cox, with 3 receivers set out to the left, drops back to pass. Looks for Brunick. It is incomplete, nearly picked off at the 20. But instead falls gracefully to the grass. 4th and 13.
That was good defense from Victor Mamutis out there for Ashland. He timed that route just right, jumped in front of the receiver. Looked like he was going to make that completion and maybe find his way to the end zone. So good piece of defense from Ashland. And Henley's in that part of the field where they will probably go for it on 4th down.
I think this is a possession where you feel like, well, maybe we shouldn't have started with the football anyway, so you're okay with taking a risk here since it was a fumble recovery on the special teams. This is about where Ashland would have got it, so, hey, going for it on 4th down here, it's a free possession. Might as well take it. Henley 1 for 1 on 4th down conversions so far tonight, and before we get it, I believe a timeout.
Yeah, Henley's going to take a look at things.
First charge timeout for Henley this half with 9:27 to go in the 3rd. They lead 34-7. Tonight's broadcast brought to you, of course, by GINO'S on East Main Street. Open up every morning at 6:30, serving up their famous breakfast burritos. Those are served all day long, along with other menu items like burgers, monthly specials, and Italian favorites. You can order online at iloveginos.com or have it brought to you on DoorDash. I was at GINO'S last Wednesday night for our weekly show, Ballin' in the Basin. You can hear it Wednesday nights at 6, and well, once a month we head on down to GINO'S, and always a fun time. But our show presented by GINO'S on East Main Street. Big shout out to Pete Belcastro and the crew down there.
They'd bring us food at the table here, wouldn't they, if we ordered it?
Well, if we do it on DoorDash, they better.
I don't know. They'd be kind of rude me chomping into the headset, though.
I wouldn't, yeah. We'd have to make you step away. I heard that I think that it's a FCC violation to eat on the radio. I think it honestly is. I've heard this said by multiple sports broadcasters who get hot dogs brought to them or turkey on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They say, I can't eat this. It's illegal. I don't know if that's true, but I have heard it.
That doesn't sound right to me.
Here we go, 4th and 13 for the Hornets. Cox, back to pass, looking deep. That is just overthrown into the end zone. He was looking for Reyes. But a turnover on downs at the 30, I'm going to call it the 28-yard line.
It's a good aggressive call. They were going for it, going for the touchdown. Pretty good throw. He put the ball where he had to because there was pretty good coverage, so he had to put it just beyond his receiver, just a little bit too far. But a good effort nonetheless.
So this will be Ashland's first possession of the half. They had to punt on their last 3 drives.
The Henley defense has really done a nice job. We'll see what Ashland does here, down 27.
All right, here we go. Hernandez, the sophomore quarterback, leads the Grizzlies out onto the field. A high snap, a handoff to the running back. Oscar Hernandez plunges up the middle for a gain of 4 or maybe 5 yards on that carry. First and 10, or pardon me, second and about 5, it looks like, for the Grizzlies.
Theron Tyler, good-handed tackle. Pickup of about 4.
The Grizzlies, like I said, they've punted their last handful of times with the football, but they've only gone 3 and out once, and that was on the first drive of the game. Otherwise, they've put together a few drives. They've just stalled out. They're trying to find the end zone here, down 34-7, inside 9 minutes to go in the third. Hernandez drops back to pass, feels all kind of pressure. That one is delivered to nobody. No intentional grounding there. He threw it quite a ways, and I think realistically Severson might have been in the neighborhood, so it'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Hart and Kundal just with a straight line to the quarterback. No interference whatsoever, and he had to just dump the ball out of bounds. 3rd down.
Another play where Henley does a good job of getting pressure to him. They made him scramble to the near side. He had 2 Hornets running after him in the backfield there before he got rid of that pass. For a guy who's up over 1,200 yards passing for the season, Hornets have done a good job of neutralizing Hernandez so far tonight. Here's 3rd and 6 officially. 8:39 to go in the third quarter. Henley leads 34-7 against Ashland. Here's a sweep handoff. It's a reverse going the other side to Iwamoto. The Hornets are not fooled, and they take him down in the backfield, bringing up 4th and long for the Grizzlies.
Chance call with the tackle for loss, big loss. And that's one of those plays where the misdirection, you run a reverse. It's all about staying in your lanes, being disciplined. He was in the right spot.
Great job getting off the field again on 3rd down. Ashland now just 1 for 6 on the ball game on 3rd down opportunities. Julian Reyes back to receive the punt. We'll see what kind of boot Saxon Brock has this time. He's delivered a couple of good punts. Last time out, only about a 20-yard punt, and it gifted Henley with good field position, which they cashed in on. This snap is very low. He has to recover. Gets off a pretty good punt. Past the 50. At the 45 is where Reyes gets it. He is taken down by his jersey. An ugly tackle, but a legal one. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 45 for Henley.
Aiden Welch with the tackle. Pretty good timing. He timed that just right. The ball took a bounce, and Reyes picked it up, and Welch was right there. Henley with good field position once again, though.
Yeah, they've had that benefit often tonight. This time taking it from their own 45, and it'll be 7:40 to go in the third quarter, a game in which they lead Ashland 34-7. Last time Henley had the football, they started at the Ashland 25, weren't able to turn it into points. But they did start their first drive from similar field position and punched it in from one play. Jeremiah Brunick 60-yard touchdown rush. This one is a handoff to Trapper Kundal. Bullies his way up the middle for a short gain, maybe 1 yard. 2nd down and 9.
Even Staten with the tackle. That was good defensive line play that time from Ashland. Just a short gain, maybe 1.
Trapper Kundal's had some good carries tonight. He's a senior on his senior night, 5'9", 175 pounds. Him and Brunick and Handsome Townsend have split the carries so far tonight. Kundal does have 1 touchdown rush. We talked about it earlier in the game. It's from more than 40 yards out. Didn't have an official distance for it, but a good run earlier in the ball game. He's lined up still back there, along with Jeremiah Brunick and the quarterback, Derek Cox. Here's the 2nd and 9 play. It'll be a handoff to Brunick. Kundal, the lead blocker. Brunick rumbles upfield. A short gain of a couple. 3rd and it looks like about 7 coming up here for Henley.
Ashland defense playing better on this series. Really nowhere to run inside that time. And we'll look at another 3rd down and long for Henley.
Henley 1 of 3 on 3rd down conversions tonight. Cox will have Kundal and Brunick back there with them. Reyes to the near side as a receiver. Baki out wide to the right. And you've also got Kai Montag lined up on the right side as a tight end. Here's the 3rd and 8 play as we hit the 6-minute mark remaining in the 3rd quarter. Henley leads 34-7. It's a fake handoff, and they pass it to Kundal in the backfield. Ashland does a good job of snuffing out that play. No gain on the pass. It'll bring up 4th and long.
Yeah, the Grizzlies with a nice defensive series. They had 2 players on that far sideline able to stop that play. And we may see a Henley punt, which I don't think we've seen yet tonight.
Yeah, you're right. Henley has not been forced to punt. They have turned the ball over on downs once, and they have lost a fumble tonight, but no punts quite yet. So back to receive looks like Oscar Hernandez for Ashland. He's at about the 25. The punt is a good one. Kips up around the 25, down inside the 20, now to the 15. There is a flag. Henley touches the ball down at about the 13-yard line, but there was a flag. We'll sort this out. It was a couple of players who got tied up on each other, Henley running for the ball. So we'll see exactly how they wind up sorting this one out.
That was a good kick. You got a good roll. You get that ball moving the right direction, you can pick up 15, 20 yards on the roll, and that's what happened. The ball ended up inside the 15.
Yeah, that was Alex Smith on the punt, the sophomore. Another product of Janney being out of the lineup tonight. Joe, typically the punter,
right,
had to tap in someone new, and they chose the sophomore Smith in his first punt of the season. Not a bad one if this holds. I mean, well, even if it doesn't hold, he still did a good job on the kick at least. Officials sorting it out on the far side again. Here we go. Looks like we're going to get the signal from Mr. Darren Rutledge. Blocking the back against the receiving team. And so they will mark this one down inside the 10, it looks like. Ashland going to start with pretty poor field position here. They did start their first drive of the game at the 11, but here it's even further back at about the 7-yard line. Ashland right up against their own goal with 5:13 to go in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10. Grizzlies with 3 receivers to the left, including a tight end. 1 to the right, and it's a handoff up the middle. No, Hernandez bounces around a little bit to the outside, sheds off one defender before being brought down, maybe a yard upfield. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Good tackle by Brody Fullerton on that far side. He had to shed a blocker, I should say. He had to get out of that block and make the tackle. He did it just right. Short gain.
Ashland huddled up. Their head coach, Greg White. He's assisted by Austin Brower, Nehemiah Dedmond, Tito Soriano, Tim Hernandez, and Rob Lavors, the coaching staff for the Ashland Grizzlies. Get the play call in. Grizzlies offense ready to go. They've got a man left uncovered in the slot. Finally, Baki moseys on over to cover him, and it's going to be a handoff anyway up the middle. Hernandez, actually it's a keeper for the quarterback. Gets past the sticks and a 1st down for the Grizzlies. A gain of a little more than 10 yards on that carry for the quarterback. 1st and 10, Ashland.
Showed some good determination on that run. Just wouldn't give up. Henley with a couple of missed tackles. They don't do that very often. And that makes for a 1st down for Ashland.
4 minutes and counting to go in the 3rd quarter. Henley leads 34-7 against the Ashland Grizzlies. Henley scored a touchdown on the first play of this quarter. Since then, teams have traded punts. But the Grizzlies on a drive. This will be play number 3 of this current drive. 1st and 10 from the Henley 24-yard line. Pardon me, from the Ashland 24-yard line. Two receivers to either side for the Grizzlies. Colton Hernandez back to pass. Just throws a duck over the middle of the field. It is intercepted by Bakke, and he brings it back over to the 30. I think his arm was touched as he wound up for it, and he left that one for the Pickens. And Henley comes away with the interception, and they'll have it in Ashland territory.
Yeah, I didn't see who was back there for Henley, if it was Cooper Mathis. One of the linemen definitely got in the way of the passer, Hernandez, and then that ball just kind of went straight up.
Yeah.
And Bakke got under it and made the interception.
Good job there for Jacob Bakke. An interception on his senior night, something that he'll hopefully remember for a long time. 6'3", 190 pounds for Jacob. Not out there on this offensive play, though. Receiver set up is Brian Vaughn to the near side, Julian Reyes to the far side. Kai Montag lined up as the tight end, and they've got Brunick back there with Derek Cox. 1st and 10 from the 30 in Ashland territory. Here's a handoff to Brunick. Brunick up the middle, just keeps going. And he is about 6 yards upfield. 2nd down and 4.
Just continues to show his strength, and you just can't arm tackle him. You've got to put a shoulder pad into the body because he's just too strong. He'll break right through an arm tackle. He's been doing that all night. He picked up 6 there.
You see him go into a pile of bodies and then somehow still come out on the other end of it. He's often falling over on the other end of it, but he just keeps on going. It's tough to bring him down.
Yeah.
He's lined up back there with Derek, and 2 receivers set out to either side. They put a man in motion, Montag from right to left. It is a run to the left side for Brunick. Brunick by one defender, shakes another to the 10, to the 5, diving for the end zone. He fumbles it, but he recovers it in the end zone for a Hornets touchdown. Jeremiah Brunick from 25 yards out adds another. 40-7 Henley.
He did it again. He just won't go down. Another touchdown run for Brunick. And Henley now with a huge lead. They lead by 33, 40-7, with the extra point pending.
See if Henley decides to try to go for 2 to push us into that running clock like we talked about earlier. If they kick an extra point, it would leave us 1 short. And, well, not that we're trying to get out of here any sooner, but for the Hornets' sake, a faster game means less likelihood of an injury. So they're going to try to go for 2 here for the first time tonight after the 25-yard touchdown rush from Brunick. Brunick is still out there with Kundal and Derek Cox. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 out wide to the right. Cox receives the snap. He's going to try to pitch it to Kundal. Kundal is into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good. Henley leads 42-7 with 2.5 to go in the third quarter. Back after this on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Henley making the score 42-7 against the Ashland Grizzlies. 2.5 to go in the third quarter. We are now in a running clock scenario. Clock is only going to stop for timeouts and injuries, official timeouts and the like. And here we go. The kick is up from Balzati. A tall kick is fielded at the 5, brought up to the 10. There on the far side on the return is Severson. Brings it up past the 15, not quite to the 20. And that is where Ashland will start this drive. They turned the ball over on an interception their last time out, but now desperately looking for points late here in the third.
Patsky and Smith among the Hornets helping out with that tackle.
Ashland starting here at the 20, just to recap that last drive for Henley. Took them 2 plays, And a 25-yard a 25-yard touchdown rush for Jeremiah Brunick is how they score their touchdown. That's Brunick's third rushing touchdown tonight. And 25 yards out, not even his longest score of the night so far. It was a 60-yard score to start the third quarter. Ashland looking to respond now inside a minute and a half to go in the third. Again, as the clock continues to tick away, Oscar Hernandez takes the handoff, but then trips and falls for what is the second time tonight, and it'll bring up second and about 12 here for Ashland.
Update a couple of scores tonight we have. In Merrill, we've got Lost River. They lead 40-0 at halftime. And Cross Point is at Glendale tonight. They now lead 30-0 with 7 minutes to go.
Those two teams looking to make deep playoff runs in their classifications. Lost River, one of the top-ranked teams in the 2A. Cross Point Christian playing 1A 8-man football. Made it to the state semifinal a season ago. Colton Hernandez calls for the snap. It is a pitch to Oscar Hernandez. Has some room on the sideline. Gets the first down up to the 40. Stays on his feet. Brought down. I think he stepped out of bounds at about the 41. And now there's some shoving going on the sideline. We're going to get a flag and going to have to sort this out. Clock stops at 35 seconds. See who they wind up charging it to. But that was a good run by Hernandez. He gained about 25 yards at least on the carry. But no clue exactly where this is going to wind up.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You don't like to see that at the end of the play. Good run. He really got his momentum going around the end, and he picked up a lot of speed. Sam Bennett was able to bring him down, but then there was kind of a scuffle after the play. I didn't see who did what. We'll see what the referees decide.
Here's Darren Rutledge coming out, our white cap tonight. Let's find out. So they are marking this against Ashland and one against Henley. So they offset. First down Ashland, and it will be from, looks like midfield.
That's right, the 50. You know what? That was about right from what I saw.
Yeah.
I think both players probably earned a penalty on that.
First and 10, Ashland from midfield. That was their first down of the second half. 4 total for the game for Ashland. Henley's defense has done a good job on them tonight. Here they have it, first and 10 again from midfield. Two receivers to either side. Colton Hernandez with a pitch to the near side this time to Oscar Hernandez. Delivers a stiff arm to one defender, but not going to get any further. Taken down in the backfield, a loss of 1 on that carry.
That was good persistence by Ronan Wright. He did get a stiff arm, but he also made the tackle. It didn't deter him at all. Well done. And no gain.
I think they're going to say well, there was a flag, false start against Ashland. It was dropped by the near official right in front of the Henley sideline. I couldn't see it, but it does go backwards actually against the Grizzlies. They'll have it first and 20 from their own 40. Clock resumes inside of 10 seconds. I don't think we're going to get a playoff here, but I've been wrong before. And this will be the end of the third quarter. 42-7, the Hornets in control, looking to shore up a win in front of a packed home crowd tonight at Hill O'Brien Field. We'll be back in just a moment as we continue your coverage of Henley football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Fourth quarter action begins now. From Henley High School, the Hornets lead the Ashland Grizzlies 42-7. Colton Hernandez with a quick pitch and catch, and a nice catch made about midfield for Ashland's number 7, Logan Lavorce. Had to lay out for it, but gets some good yardage back. It'll be 2nd and 10 here for the Grizzlies. They had been behind the sticks, but moving it up nicely on that first play here in the fourth quarter. We do have a running clock, 42-7.
That was a good route, and I think we have a whole lot of new Hornets in there playing defense. A lot of new players getting some reps.
See Lucas McCormick, Jaden Pena. Let's see, playing some safety. A.J. Patsky out there. I'll rely on your help a little bit, Kevin, to identify some of these new players.
Henry Fours out there as well, yes.
Good to see some of these guys get some playing time. Colton Hernandez, quick pass. Now up to the 40. Now to the 35 before being brought down. That was Iwamoto on the catch. 15-yard reception, first down Grizzlies.
Brian Vaughn out there helping out on the tackle for Henley.
See some of the guys up front. David Rutledge, a senior, up there for Henley. I believe I also see 61. That would be Ian Meyer on his senior night. Also a varsity baseball player.
Jaden Pena's in there. Also Stephen Cassidy, linebacker.
1st and 10 Grizzlies, 10.5 and counting with our running clock tonight. 42-7 Henley leads, and the Grizzlies have it at the 35 in Hornets territory. Hernandez calls for the snap, gets a quick pass out to Welch. Short gain on that play of a couple, 2nd down.
Brian Vaughn again with the coverage and the tackle.
So you see Cole Yarnell out there. He's typically an offensive lineman, but they're on the defensive end, getting some work there for Henley. And Robert Alvarez, a junior defensive lineman, in there for the Hornets as well.
Jesse Smith also in on that tackle. He's out there on the far side.
Yeah, Jesse Smith, another multi-sport athlete, also plays basketball for the Hornets. 2nd and 8 here for the Grizzlies. They're putting a man to the near side. That's Iwamoto. Hernandez back to pass, looking for a home run, throws it into double coverage. It is incomplete. Nearly picked off by Henry Four in the end zone, but instead an incomplete pass, 3rd and 8.
He really put some air into that and threw it far. That ball was clear to the end zone. Henley had good coverage, though. McCormick also back there.
It's quite something to see a ball go 45 yards through the air. And that's about what that one did. That was impressive. And Colton Hernandez is a sophomore. He's going to get better as the years go.
Yeah, he will. He's very good.
3rd and 8 here for the Grizzlies. 2 men out to either side for Colton Hernandez, with Oscar Hernandez in the backfield. Crouches down, receives the snap. It's a play-action pass, quickly thrown over the middle and incomplete. 4th down comes up here for Ashland.
Receiver seemed to fall down on that route. Jaden Pena out there with the defense. And that brings up a 4th down.
The grass has got the Grizzlies a couple times tonight. That's the 3rd time that they've had a player just trip out there.
This group's doing fine for Henley.
Yeah.
Be nice nice to get a stop for them here.
Confidence building, not only this season, but also bring it back down to JV if some of these guys are swinging up. Here we go. 4th down for the Grizzlies, going for it here for the first time tonight on 4th down. Hernandez finds a man. The pass is caught by Welch up the sideline, and a first down for the Grizzlies. A nice play worth about 17 yards on that catch. They'll have it 1st and 10 to about the 17-yard line for the Grizzlies. Their first attempt on 4th down. It's a good one.
Timothy Breton with the tackle for Henley.
This is very reminiscent of Ashland's only other scoring drive of the ball game that went 11 plays. This is play number 11 of this current drive for Ashland. 7.5 to go in the 4th quarter from the 17. 2 receivers to the near side for the Grizzlies. Hernandez going to pitch it to his running back. Has some room inside the 10. Stays on his feet to the 5. And down inside the 5, about the 3-yard line. 1st and goal Grizzlies.
A.J. Patsky with a touchdown-saving tackle, but still a good gain for the Grizzlies, and they'll be first and goal.
So Grizzlies knocking on the door. This is the closest they've been to the end zone without actually scoring. They haven't had very many opportunities in the red zone at all tonight. Their last touchdown score came way back in the second quarter. It was from 12 yards out. So here they go. First and goal from inside the 5. It's a handoff to Oscar Hernandez. Plunges through the middle into the end zone for an Ashland touchdown. It's now 42-13 with 6.5 to go in the fourth quarter.
Ashland having some success against that second defense for Henley, but a good drive. They now trail by 29 with the extra point to come.
We'll see if they decide to kick the extra point or go for 2. Looks like the offense is staying out there for Ashland. They're getting a play call in. And they get it in with 5:55 and counting, again, in this running clock scenario. Oscar Hernandez back there with the quarterback, Colton Hernandez. And here we go. It's a play-action pass. They look to find Iwamoto on the swing route, but he's not there. Pass falls incomplete, and our score remains 42-13. We're going to step aside with a brief break. We'll be back with more Henley football in just a minute on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
(42-13) our score here at Henley High School tonight as the Hornets beating the Ashland Grizzlies at this point. Grizzlies capping off a 12-play drive. Take this with a grain of salt, but that was a 9-minute drive. Clock is running, of course, so it never stopped after those 12 plays, but still, good drive put together, capping it off with a 6-yard touchdown rush from their running back, Oscar Hernandez.
Henley having an excellent return home after a few weeks on the road. Just a really, really good effort tonight from this Hornet team and coaches.
Yeah, they should feel very good about this victory, especially considering all the factors coming into it. Feels like the offense hasn't really missed a beat tonight. Ashland attempting an onside kick. Not going to work out for him. It's recovered at the Henley 35. So that's where the Hornets will take it over, 1st and 10, late in the fourth quarter.
Porter Frost with this drop and roll right there. Stop, drop, and roll.
I think you got it right.
Took me a couple tries, but I figured it out.
Be worried.
He was able to pick up the ball and keep possession for Henley.
See who he got coming in. Some backups on the Henley offense. See Henry 4 out there. Looks like playing running back is going to be Stephen Cassidy, a senior. Derek Cox still in at the quarterback position for the Hornets. 2 receivers set to either side. 1st and 10. It is a handoff for Cassidy. Tries to find some room along the left side of the line. Stays on his feet, up 5 yards. 2nd down.
Good hard run with some nice blocking on that left side. He picked up about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Porter Frost checking into the game on offense. Porter, a junior, 5'11", another multi-sport athlete playing baseball for Henley. He's going to be set out to the left side at the top of your screen there. Cox calling for the snap, 2nd and 5. It is another handoff to Cassidy. This time getting the 1st down, a gain of 6 and a nice carry that time for Stephen Cassidy and a 1st down for Henley.
Got 5, then he got 6. That's a first down for the Hornets.
10th first down of the night for the Hornets. See, coming into the game, Jesse Smith for Henley. Also Henry 4 out there, lined up on the far side. Lucas McCormick in at wide receiver as well. Cox on 1st and 10, receives the snap. It is a handoff to Jaden Pena. Pena stuffed after a short gain, maybe 2 yards on that carry, 2nd down.
Good work that time from the Grizzly line. Just a short gain, 2nd down. Henley taking their time here. We're under 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, they can hold on to possession if they choose to until the end, so long as they continue to get first downs. But the running clock makes that easy. And getting some action from the cheerleaders as they are entertaining the crowd, which feels like they have just about wrapped up victory tonight. 2nd and 8 here for Henley. 3 receivers set out to the near side. Cox, a handoff. Again, this is Pena on the carry. There is a flag as Pena makes it past the sticks on the carry. But again, there is a flag in the backfield on this 2nd down carry. Clock stops with 2:14 to go in the 4th quarter. 42-13 our score. Henley leads.
That was a good run, but looks like it will come back.
There's a reason for it. And Henley held to create that big gain. So that'll push him back 10 yards, and it'll be 2nd and about 19 or so here for Henley.
We'll see if this group can work out of a 2nd and 19.
Just trying to wrap up this game cleanly. Henley has a big game next week against the number 1 ranked team in the state. We'll take a look ahead in our post-game show. Be sure to stick with us for our post-game show, plus the Pacific Power play of the game. 2 minutes on the clock, and it's 2nd and 19 for Henley. Cox play action pass, and they find his man. It's Jesse Smith for a short completion worth about 5 yards. And Ashland is going to call a timeout with 1:41 remaining in the ball game. We will take this timeout. It'll be our final timeout of regulation here on the broadcast. Stick with us for more Henley football coming back in just a minute. 42-13 our score, 1:39 to go.
We drive play an important part of our everyday. Whether we're going to work, dropping off the kids at school, or maybe even on that first date. Vehicles we drive play an important role in all of that. And that's why at Klamath Falls Subaru, we are so passionate about getting you the long-lasting vehicle that you will love. When you come to our store, you'll find that every department is dedicated to caring for our customers, which is why I can proudly send anyone here knowing that they will be treated like family. Stop by and say hi. When you come to Klamath Falls Subaru, you're coming home.
(42-13) the score, 1:39 to go in the ball game. Ashland called a timeout, so we went ahead and took it. 3rd and long here, 3rd and 13 officially for the Hornets. Clock is going to run, but this is an opportunity for a 3rd down conversion for Henley. They've been all right on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 4 so far. It's going to be a handoff to Smith. Barrels forward for a gain of about 3 yards, brings up 4th and 10. And a timeout will be called by the Grizzlies. We'll stick with you through this one as the Grizzlies want to get the ball back and run a few plays after 4th down, or so it seems. Again, want to remind you during our post-game show tonight, stick with us for our Pacific Power play of the game. The mission of the Pacific Power Foundation is to support the growth and vitality of local communities through charitable investments. Over the past 5 years, the foundation has awarded over $13 million to nonprofit organizations. We will name our play of the game in our post-game show tonight. Hornets back out onto the field. Grizzlies the same. It's going to be a punting situation for the Hornets at 4th and 10. Grizzlies do have one more timeout if they choose to take it. Under 90 seconds remaining in the ball game. They're down 42-13.
Ashland wanting to get a few more reps on offense. They'll use those timeouts. And they'll get a chance here.
The snap is high. Henley's going to have to go get it. Alex Smith picks it up at the 15 to the 20, stays on his feet at the 25, but he's finally brought down. Should we call that a 10-yard rush, or is that a negative 25-yard rush for the punter?
Yeah, that's a big loss on that play. That snap went over his head, and he did a good job just to get the ball, though. You don't want to give up on that play because obviously they could pick it up and run it in for a touchdown. So he was able to keep possession at least through the end of the play, and now Ashland will get a few chances here with a minute to play.
They have it at the Henley 30. A good opportunity to try to get in some points here. Ashland going to likely air out the football. So they line up with two receivers set to either side. Quarterback Colton Hernandez joined by the running back Oscar Hernandez. Under 40 seconds remaining. Putting a wide receiver in a little bit of motion, and there they go. They're set for this 1st and 10 play. Quick pass to the outside. It is caught. And a nice catch there by Ashland's number 7, Logan Lavorce. It'll bring up 2nd and about 6.
Ian Meyer out there on the coverage for Henley.
Ashland on the ball quickly, 10 seconds. 7 seconds, this will be the last play of the game, presumably. Hernandez looking for the deep ball. It is incomplete, and that will do it. Final score, 42-13. The Henley Hornets return home, and they pick up a win in front of a packed crowd at Hill O'Brien Field. We'll be back to recap it for you coming up as we continue your coverage of Henley football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
The best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
As a parent of a high school athlete, I've given up trying to get pictures of my kid playing sports. It's nearly impossible to take pictures and enjoy the game. There is a solution, though. God's Gifts Photography attends high school sporting events in the Basin to take individual and team action photos at a great price. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook to learn more. They'll come and capture your athlete in action, creating those frameable lifelong memories so you can watch and just enjoy the moment. Call 541-281-2206 to get your athlete on their schedule. God's Gifts Photography.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
It's time to reclaim your health and your autonomy. At Heartfelt OBGYN, they focus on you. Their evidence-based approach to care means fewer office visits and a targeted treatment plan to directly address your specific needs. They believe in solutions for their patients, not the industry's profit margin. The providers at Heartfelt OBGYN are committed to serving the community and giving back to the Basin. Find them at heartfeltobgyn.com. Heartfelt, because you deserve to be in control of your body and your informed choices.
Final score tonight from Henley High School. The Hornets defeat the Ashland Grizzlies 42-13. Game that was tied at 7 after the first quarter that the Hornets wound up running away with through the second and third quarters. Kevin, a good game tonight for Henley.
Yeah, Henley did a lot of things right. I thought the second quarter was really where the game broke open. They had a great second quarter, really moved the football, scored a lot of points in that quarter, and kind of broke the game open. And just really played well on both sides of the ball, even without Joe Janney. We don't really know his status for next week, but they did the job tonight. They had kids fill in where they needed to, and with a good game plan and a good win.
Yeah, you talked about it that second quarter, 20 unanswered points in that second quarter for Henley after being tied at 7 after the first. They led 27-7 at halftime and just kept piling on through the third quarter. 42-13, the final score. It's time now to pick our Pacific Power play of the game. The mission of the Pacific Power Foundation is to support the growth and vitality of local communities through charitable investments. Over the last 5 years, the foundation has awarded over $13 million to nonprofit organizations. Kevin, what's your play of the game tonight?
Well, that second quarter was a key quarter, and I thought that Henley really did a nice job managing the clock. At the end of that quarter, just before halftime, Derek Cox with a nice touchdown pass to Kai Montag, and that's my play.
It's a 9-yard touchdown catch. It was the first of Derek Cox's varsity career. That's a good pick. I'm going to go with an exciting one, 60-yard touchdown rush for Jeremiah Brunick. It was the first play from scrimmage in the third quarter, and at the time it made the score 34-7. Brunick would wind up with 3 total touchdowns on the night, and a good evening for him on senior night here at Henley. Brunick is a senior, and I'm going to try to highlight some of these Henley seniors here. Bear with me while I read about 20 names. Connor Shively, Trapper Kundal, Ronan Wright, Jacob Baki, Lucas McCormick, Julian Rias, Jaden Pena, Jeremiah Brunick, Nixon Brown, Brian Vaughn, Joe Janney, Sam Bennett, Stephen Cassidy, Timothy Breton, along with Tony De La Rosa, LJ Venegas, Ian Meyer, Jackson Hart, Cooper Mathis, Theron Tyler, Cole Yarnell, and Jance Call Jr., and David Rutledge, all celebrating their senior tonight for Henley. I feel like I just read the phone book. Henley is going to have a lot of players to replace next season, but while it lasts here, still 2 more games left in the regular season, and what looks to be a postseason berth for Henley heading their way.
Yeah, well, all that experience, there's a reason Henley is so good. They have all that experience. They have good players, and it's just human nature. You know, they only have 2 games left in the regular season, and the seniors are going to play with more urgency. And you saw that tonight, you know, the way Jeremiah Brunick runs the football or the way they play defense, and it's only going to be better as these next 2 games go on. You know, as a coach, you want your team to play best at the end. I really think Henley's moving in that direction.
We're going to take one break here on the post-game show. When we come back, we'll wrap things up for you. 42-13 the score tonight. The Hornets defeat the Grizzlies. Back after this one more time here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance. Thanks for joining us. Elevate started in 2020 as a dream. I wanted to open up a clinic of my own, really had a heart and a passion to treat athletes of all ages, and got the opportunity to do it. And wow, this is what's happened. One of the best parts of this job is that we get to work with all the student athletes on field, at their contests, at their games all around the county. Specifically when you're working with dancers, right, we've got like particular ways of movement that we don't want to necessarily correct, because dancers have a very specific way of moving that's important for their athletic performance. At Elevate, we're here to get you moving and keep you moving, no matter if you're 8 or you're 80. Feel free to give us a call at 541-887-2030.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Final score tonight, the Henley Hornets defeat the Ashland Grizzlies 42-13. It's a big win for Henley to get coming up next week, which will arguably be, maybe it's not arguable, the biggest regular season game of the season when number 1 Marshfield comes to town.
Yeah, that's one you want to be here or be watching or be listening. That's going to be a big one. It's going to determine who wins the league, and and who's where in the playoffs. It's going to be exciting.
That'll be next week, 7 o'clock. We've got another football broadcast between now and then. Tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock, we'll be up in Chiloquin covering the Panthers Senior Day as they take on the Riddle Irish. Join us tomorrow at 3 o'clock. But as we wrap this one up tonight, 42-13, the final. Kevin, any final thoughts?
No, just a good game for the Hornets. Just got to keep that momentum going into the playoffs.
Want to thank everybody involved with making tonight's broadcast possible. Both head coaches, Greg White for Ashland for getting with us before the game, and of course always thanks to Henley head coach Matt Green and our athletic director here at Henley High School, Mr. Luke Hammond, for making sure that we've got a place to set up and a place to be here in the friendly confines of Hill O'Brien Field. Also want to thank you for joining us for another edition of Henley High School football. Big thanks for joining us again, and we'll be back next week as the Hornets take on Marshfield. But until then, for Caitlin Rodriguez running the live stream camera tonight, my partner Kevin Petrick, my name is Josh Eldridge. So long and good night from Henley High School.